brain freeze.
Teen Titans, 2003 to 2006. The animated stories explored. Teen Titans, 2003, is considered one of the best DC productions. The series gave us outstanding stories, new pairings, and a show that struck a chord with fans of all ages. Although some may call it juvenile, it doesn't have any shortage of drama and action. Teen Titans is easily one of the best in Cartoon Network's history, lasting for an impressive 5 seasons with 65 episodes. Created by Glenn Murakami, David Slack and Sam Register, the show focused on Robin, Raven, Beast Boy, Cyborg and Starfire as they teamed up to fight evil. If you want to be a part of our superhero team that works hard to bring you all this cartoon nostalgia, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button as well.
Attack pattern alpha!
Season 1, Final Exam. The Hive Academy boosts its newest 3 graduates: Gizmo, the boy genius, Jinx, the sorceress, and Mammoth, the genetically enhanced giant. The headmistress is ready to lend the superpowered individuals for the right price, but the esteemed client, a certain Mr. Slade, wants the team to take part in a final exam, which is to beat the Teen Titans. Meanwhile, it's a normal, chaotic day at the Titans Tower, where Cyborg and Beast Boy have successfully ruined Raven's concentration. Starfire blasts a living blue mold into the monster, and Robin suggests going out for pizza. The Titans get ambushed by the Hive graduates outside the pizza parlor, and if we are honest, they get easily beaten up. As Gizmo sets a jetpack on Cyborg's back, he flies away, and Starfire follows him while the combined attack of the trio causes the ground to collapse, and Robin gets lost in the sewers underneath. An injured and shocked Beast Boy and Raven return to the tower. When Starfire and Cyborg arrive, they too are surprised by the news of Robin going missing. Soon, the Hive trio breaks into the tower and seizes its controls. Gizmo takes over Cyborg's systems, detaches one of his robot arms, and throws him out into the river, while the other 3 are ejected from the tower. Jinx conjures a tsunami to destroy the Teen Titans, but they survive. This episode is the 3rd to be written and produced, yet the channel broadcasted it first as it provided the right preamble to the story. As the Titans get desolate, Robin reunites with them. He seemingly survived the fall, but probably couldn't radio his team due to his belt being recovered by Jinx. Robin assures his team that they will get back to the tower, and we see Cyborg's detached arm activating. It spies on the Hive, who are now busy plundering the clothes, music, and food stored by the Titans. These guys seem pretty efficient and quick, as they have already turned the T-shaped tower into an H. The lonely arm sneaks behind the villainous trio and logs into the system to make it haywire. Robin and his team use the diversion to defeat the trio. Robin snatches his utility belt from Jinx, and Cyborg hacks Gizmo's system. Beast Boy outsmarts Jinx, while the others take down Mammoth. Gizmo is a midget, Jinx is Indian, and Mammoth is slow-witted in the comics. However, all that is changed in the series to make it more anime-friendly. Gizmo attempts to seek Mr. Slade's help and mentions him, which surprises Robin. Although the Hive loses, Slade is happy that Robin receives his message. Although it's too early, Slade will be one of the main antagonists against the Titans throughout the series.
Titans, get ready.
Sisters. The 2nd episode opens at an amusement park as Robin and Starfire enjoy a fireworks show. Starfire wonders if Earth is under attack when a stray pink rocket pulls Starfire away from the Ferris wheel, and Robin assembles the team for support. They help Starfire get rid of the alien probe as Robin pulls off its cables, making it go down. The Teen Titans return to the Titans Tower, where Starfire is startled by a surprise visit from her elder sister, Blackfire. Blackfire gifts Starfire with an emerald diamond of Centauri Moon, but quickly draws all the attention to herself as she retells her adventures around the black holes. Elsewhere in space, 3 other pink probes return to their base as the Masters realize their target is on Earth, where the 4th probe has vanished. Back in the Titans Tower, Starfire feels left out as everybody seems enamored by Blackfire and spending time with her. Starfire tries to involve her friends in a movie night, but Blackfire suggests clubbing. Blackfire even wears Starfire's clothes and a wig to make herself look like Starfire, whereas Starfire finds it increasingly difficult to fit in at the disco. While all Tamarinians are supposed to look like Starfire, the difference in Blackfire's appearance is likely a reference to her comic counterpart, where she is born deformed as per Tamarinian standards. Starfire questions her own role on Earth, and Robin comes to her for support, but Blackfire pulls him away before he can assure her. Suddenly, the alien probes attack Starfire, and Beast Boy notices her fighting from the skylights. The Titans try to help her, and when Robin urges Blackfire to join, she easily destroys all 3 probes. It seems fishy that Blackfire knew where to hit, but she points it out as a lucky guess. Starfire decides to leave, assuming the team is better off with the highly intelligent, smart and outgoing Blackfire, but Robin stops her. Well, introverts can't deny having felt like Starfire at some point in time. Once again, Robin's inspiring speech is cut short when the alien pilots appear to arrest Starfire to take her to their ship. Robin follows and latches himself to the ship and rescues Starfire, but the aliens identify themselves as Centauri police officers who are here to capture the Tamarinian girl who stole valuables from their planet. Since Starfire hasn't ever visited Centauri Moon, the picture becomes clear, and Robin returns the Centauri diamond necklace to the Centauri police while pointing out that Blackfire is the culprit. Starfire now confronts her sister and stops her from escaping. The sisters get into a fight, and Blackfire is taken into custody. However, Blackfire swears vengeance on Starfire. The episode ends with Robin finally getting his prized opportunity to make Starfire realize her own importance in the Teen Titans. Divide and conquer. A villain called Cinderblock breaks into a prison, but the Teen Titans are ready to stop him. However, stopping Cinderblock proves hard enough, not to mention impossible, when Robin and Cyborg's sonic boom maneuver fails miserably. The two start arguing, to the horror of the rest of the team. Cinderblock takes the opportunity to enter a high-security room and steal a stasis tube containing a sleeping man. Cyborg gets upset with Robin's leadership and quits the team. Cinderblock's break-in allows the prisoners an escape route, but the Titans stop them from escaping. This was supposed to be the series' first episode, which makes sense, as it is revealed that Slade had hired Cinderblock to steal the stasis. The man inside turns out to be Plasmus, who turns into a groggy monster when awake, and although it seems the man didn't want to be awake, he has no choice but to do Slade's bidding. In the comics, Plasmus was not a shapeshifter, so the series took some liberty. Even the human version is designed after David Slack, the series editor. At Titan's Tower, the team is morally down as they miss Cyborg, especially Robin, who now has Cyborg's share of chores to do. Robin also misses his gaming partner and realizes his mistake when they are alerted of another break-in. The Titans rush to a waste plant, where they witness Plasmus consuming waste and getting bigger. The Titans manage to confine Plasmus and stop it, but it gets separated into smaller parts, which becomes unmanageable. The situation is gross and funny, but maybe not for Beast Boy and Starfire, who get trapped by Plasmus, while Robin almost falls into toxic waste while trying to capture a Plasmus bit. Cyborg appears and rescues Robin from falling. Most of the scenes in the opening sequence are taken from this episode. Cyborg and Robin reconcile as they repeat their sonic boom tactic to stun Plasmus, which splashes apart and returns him into the sleeping human form. After human Plasmus is taken away in stasis, the team gets ready to stop Cinderblock from breaking a prison again, but Cyborg shows them that he has already done the job and tied up Cinderblock. This villain is an original created for the series. The incident makes Robin and Cyborg think that somebody else must be involved in orchestrating the events. In his lair, Slade smashes his fist and is ready to make the Titans pay. Throughout the series, Slade haunts the Teen Titans as a foe, harbinger of doom and ally. But don't worry, not all episodes are dark. Keep watching to see how the Teen Titans fight a British villain set on disciplining the Titans, or when the Titans fight a narcissistic sea creature. Amidst all, the Titans will also have to deal with matters of the heart. The Titans deal with betrayal from a girlfriend, a Tamarinian wedding, and a prom date with a villain's daughter. Forces of Nature. The episode introduces the two brothers, Thunder and Lightning, who play in the clouds, causing lightning and storms. At Titan's Tower, Beast Boy seeks revenge on Cyborg for pranking him and has laid out an elaborate mechanism to drop motor oil on Cyborg. However, Starfire becomes the unintended victim and gets mad at Beast Boy. Robin soon calls them into action as Thunder and Lightning have started plundering the streets. Thunder and Lightning prove formidable opponents as the Titans get overpowered by the brothers. Beast Boy senses some good in Thunder and makes him realize that it's not funny for the people who are affected by their vandalism, but Lightning forces Thunder to ignore Beast Boy, and they retreat. Robin delegates his team to look for the brothers, and Beast Boy is assigned to work with Starfire, who is still not ready to forgive him. The duo eventually arrives at a spot where Thunder and Lightning have already left their mark. The four get into a brawl, and Beast Boy tries connecting with Thunder, helping him realize what they are doing is wrong. However, a mysterious old man in Asian-style clothing arrives and uses a music box to help the siblings drop debris on Starfire. The series producer, Glenn Murakami, compared the story of this episode to an Asian fable and used similar styling for characters and even the music. The old man offers more sources of fun to the brothers and convinces them to follow him. Meanwhile, Beast Boy desperately searches through the rubble for Starfire. As he breaks down and apologizes to Starfire, she appears behind and forgives him. Starfire calls Thunder and Lightning evil, to which Beast Boy disagrees and explains that they are probably just immature teenagers like him. Somewhere outside the city, the old man asks Thunder and Lightning to use their powers on some targets, which get lit on fire. Once all the targets are lit, the old man uses a totem and an incantation to wake up a fire giant that takes shape from the aligned targets. The old man orders the fire giant to attack the city, and as it makes its way downhill, it sets every tree on fire. The Teen Titans arrive to stop the monster and remove all the trees from his way. The old man instigates the brothers to stop the Titans from destroying their creation. As another battle ensues, Beast Boy speaks with Thunder in an astral plane. Speaking of Asian influence, the show has used Japanese title songs for the opening sequence of episodes that are not serious and are usually used for comic relief. However, it gets serious when Thunder stops Lightning from attacking Starfire. On the other hand, Robin fights the old man. Well, about damn time. Thunder gets subdued by Lightning, but he points out how the Titans use their powers for good. However, the water the Titans spray on the monster doesn't prove enough, and the brothers finally mend their ways as they go up in the clouds to create a rainstorm. The monster gets destroyed by the rain, and Lightning crumbles the old man's mask in the mountains, revealing him to be Slade. Of course, we are not surprised. Slade vanishes, and Thunder and Lightning reconcile with the Titans. After the brothers leave, Robin tells the group about Slade, as they are now ready. The sum of his parts. Teen Titans are finally enjoying some quality time as they have a picnic in the park. They start playing football when suddenly Cyborg shuts down. He comes around within a few moments, and it is discovered that he is running low on battery. Cyborg heads to the tower to charge up when a little boy with a prosthetic arm gushes over him, but Cyborg gets a little disconcerted by him being the same as the kid. He further rushes back when his arm sounds an alarm. The scene is inspired by the New Teen Titans comic, Volume 1, Issue number 8, and for us, it's a poignant reminder of Cyborg's struggle with leading a normal life. Meanwhile, the Teen Titans confront a magician villain called Mumbo as he escapes into Tito's junkyard. The Teen Titans' powers seem futile in front of the magician, and even Raven fails to defeat the trickster. Cyborg assists the team as he raps on an emergency battery pack, but Mumbo shorts it by spraying Cyborg with water, and he falls into the garbage truck. As Cyborg's inbuilt power runs out, he freezes, and all the garbage, including a frozen Cyborg, falls into an underground tunnel. Mumbo escapes with the truck, and the other Titans assume Cyborg is in there. However, inside the underground tunnel, something else wakes up. When Cyborg wakes up, he is fully charged, yet strapped to cables inside a hidden lab. A robot-like person called Fix-It takes the credit for charging Cyborg and volunteers to repair him. Although Cyborg doesn't find any damage, Fix-It insists on repairing Cyborg and replacing his imperfect human aspects with cybernetic implants. When Cyborg protests, Fix-It uses his powers to control all the robots and cybernetics at his disposal to restrain Cyborg. Fix-It replaces a villain called Simon, and incidentally, both share a resemblance. In the meantime, the other Titans have realized that Cyborg is not in the garbage truck and look for Mumbo to get answers. The Titans fight, and Robin breaks Mumbo's wand, making all his magic disappear. However, Mumbo clarifies that he doesn't have a clue about Cyborg. The team heads back to the junkyard to look for Cyborg and comes across Fix-It's army of robots. Inside Fix-It's lair, Cyborg has a nightmare where he has completely turned into a robot. He struggles to escape the restraints as Fix-It works on finishing up the cybernetic parts. Cyborg manages to get free, but again succumbs to Fix-It's technopathic powers. However, when Fix-It tries to download Cyborg's memories for preservation, the onslaught of emotions and feelings from the picnic shocks Fix-It, and he remembers how it felt like to be human. The shock stops Fix-It's army as the Teen Titans enter the block. The faith in humanity is restored as Cyborg offers to help Fix-It find his back. Later in the park, Cyborg tells the young boy that the heart makes them similar. Nevermore. The episode begins right in the middle of a fight between Dr. Light and the Teen Titans. Dr. Light is defeated by Raven, but his remarks drive her mad. Raven transforms into a demonic and dark being, which makes Dr. Light shiver and traumatizes him. The Titans rush to save Dakota Light as Raven comes back to normal. When Beast Boy tries to ask her what happened, Raven snarls at him and retreats into the shadows. The next morning, Beast Boy agonizes his mates with a vegan breakfast. Coincidentally, Greg Sipes, who voices Beast Boy, is also a vegan. Beast Boy tries to cheer up Raven, but she lashes at him. Later, Beast Boy timidly approaches Raven's room to apologize, and Cyborg breaks open her door, only to find that she is missing. As they inspect her mirror, the duo gets sucked into an unearthly dimension, which is seemingly Raven's mind. Bizarre things happen to Beast Boy and Cyborg in the unnatural plane, as several double-eyed ravens ask them to turn back. A cheerful raven in pink aesthetics further nudges them toward a forbidden door that can take them back. However, the duo ends up in a different flowery plane. Back in the tower, Robin and Starfire tell a meditating Raven about her broken door, and when she goes back to investigate, Raven realizes what has transpired. Raven is given telekinetic powers in this series. Although Raven was dead in the comics, being a fan favorite forced her to come back into the comics. That's not all. Beast Boy and Raven pairing became popular thanks to this series. The fact that Beast Boy is upset about Raven never laughing at his jokes adds fuel to the fire. Back in the Raven realm, the cheery Raven goes missing as Cyborg and Beast Boy end up in the void. A depressed Raven helps them out of a labyrinth, but right into another doorway guarded by a two-faced demon statue. At the tower, Robin refuses to find out what's happening, while Starfire is eager to interfere. Back in the void, another green-attired Raven helps Beast Boy and Cyborg out, but as everything drives Beast Boy to his limits, the Ravens reveal themselves as different personalities of the original Raven. Eventually, the real Raven appears, and so does the monster Trigon. Raven explains that her rage has taken the shape of her father. Trigon is voiced by Keith Zarabajka for this episode, and later by Kevin Michael Richardson. Raven fights with the rage monster Trigon, while Beast Boy and Cyborg suggest she use different versions of herself to destroy the monster. With the battle won, the trio returns to the normal plane, and the team prepares for a second round of breakfast.
Robin, I do not wish to fight you.
Switched. The story begins with the Puppet King playing with the puppets of the Teen Titans as he plans to take control of them. The next day, Starfire interrupts Raven's meditation, making her irritated. The boys return with a crate sent as a gift, and when they open it, they find respective puppets. Unaware that the puppets are sent by the Puppet King, the Titans play around with the puppets, except for Raven. At night, the Puppet King emerges from the crate and starts transferring the Titans' souls from their bodies to the puppets. A sound wakes Starfire, and she arrives in front of Raven's room. Starfire inadvertently wakes Raven, and as they talk, Robin, Beast Boy, and Cyborg suddenly attack them. The Puppet King reveals himself and his plans to burn the marionettes to control the real bodies forever. As he tries to draw the girls' souls, Raven uses her power and accidentally switches Raven and Starfire's souls into their bodies. Interestingly, Tara Strong auditioned for Starfire, as she is used to doing cutesy voices like Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls. However, Hynden Walsh's recording amazed the producers who roped her in for Starfire, and Tara Strong voiced Raven. This episode further showed how adept both are in voicing both roles. The girls escape from the clutches of the Puppet King while the boys follow them. At first, the girls face trouble coordinating since Raven appears grumpy and is incapable of using Starfire's flight abilities. On the other hand, Starfire perfectly recites Raven's incantations to levitate herself and help Raven. When Starfire points out that they need to get to know each other better to work together, Raven finally agrees and starts telling her story. If you are looking for a flashback and background story, you will be disappointed. It is revealed that Starfire's powers are connected to her emotions, while Raven tries to remain emotionless as she goes out of control when she feels. The previous episode is, of course, a proof. Now that the girls understand each other better, they spy on the Puppet King, who has prepared a concoction to drown the marionettes and kill the souls of the male Titans. The villain is based on the puppeteer from the comics, whom the Titans fought in the New Teen Titans Volume 1, Issue number 9. The girls get into one final battle with the Puppet King and the boys, but when the marionettes are at immediate doom, Raven finally unleashes her emotions and shoots star blasts to destroy the cauldron and the Puppet King's control. This releases all the souls, which return to their rightful bodies, and the Puppet King turns into a real, albeit lifeless puppet. However, the event has bonded the girls, and the next day, Starfire offers to meditate alongside Raven, who in turn proposes to go to the mall together. Deep 6. The scene opens in the middle of the ocean, where a sea entity named Trident wrecks and sinks ships carrying toxic wastes. The news of Trident's activities has reached the Teen Titans, who take a submarine underwater to investigate. Beast Boy is hyped up as the only one who can transform into an aquatic creature. He turns into a hammerhead whale to look through a ship sunken by Trident, and the submarine follows him. Beast Boy notices a mysterious person and follows him, while Trident secretly keeps a watch on the submarine and attacks it. The Titans inside get confused as Trident seems to be attacking from all sides. The sub loses its engine and plummets towards the ocean trenches. On the other hand, the other mysterious person turns out to be Aqualad, who telepathically communicates with Beast Boy and warns him about his friends being in trouble. Beast Boy changes into a large squid to help his friends, while Aqualad fights Trident. After Trident escapes, Aqualad sends 2 whales to rescue the submarine and bring it up in an underwater cave. Aqualad introduces himself to the squad, and the girls are already smitten. The strong Asian features and height give him some extra points. Aqualad explains that he is an Atlantean, and so is Trident, but Trident is supercharged by his ego and perfectness. This episode is written by Marv Wolfman, who co-created Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg. He wrote the New Teen Titans comics for 16 years. Aqualad calls on his fish like friend Tram to repair the damaged submarine as he prepares to go and look for Trident. However, Trident is not the only one with egoistic issues, as Beast Boy is unwilling to accept Aqualad's help and volunteers to look for Trident. Robin manages to stop the two from fighting and asks them to go, but it isn't the best solution. Beast Boy and Aqualad compete against each other, as Beast Boy fails to consider Aqualad's superiority in matters of underwater. Although Aqualad locates Trident by communicating with the dolphins, it seems impossible to defeat Trident. Trident appears to both Aqualad and Beast Boy, while both of them break his staff. This doesn't deter Trident, and instead, the confusion leads to another round of arguments between the two heroes. It gets cleared when Aqualad confesses that he doesn't think of himself as better than Beast Boy. The duo deduces that Trident must have made clones of himself and finds a hive cocoon carrying Trident clones. Trident shares his plan to rule land and water with his clone army, but his chronic narcissism becomes his downfall. Beast Boy and Aqualad ask them who the leader is, which ensues fights among the clones, and they destroy each other. This episode is one of the witty and light stories told in Season 1. The Japanese intro used does justice in setting the mood. However, Time is up on the hatching machine, and the other clones start to hatch. Beast Boy and Aqualad take it as a cue to flee. They are aided by the Titans and Tram riding the repaired submarine, which collapses the mouth of the cave, stopping the clones from escaping. Later, the team inducts Aqualad as an honorary member and gifts him with a communicator, while Beast Boy is still up for racing with Aqualad.
No, release him! He is...
Me!
Robin.
Masks. The Teen Titans face off against Slade's men as they try to steal a chip from a high-security vault within the mountains. One of the uniformed men tries to escape and shoots laser at Starfire. Robin rescues Starfire and also captures the fugitive. However, it turns out to be a robot with a monitor. Slade appears on screen and promises to meet Robin soon. As Robin broods and contemplates Slade's action, trying to figure out who is Slade, he starts shutting himself off from his friends. A few days later, Robin informs Cyborg that he is pursuing a lead as the rest of the team heads to catch a thief who steals the chip from the high security vault. The thief with the skull-like mask calls himself Red X and proves to be an unrelenting fighter aware of the Titans' weak points. Red X sub dues all the Titans and escapes. He later calls up Slade and offers a partnership. However, Slade asks for more proof of his loyalty and caliber. In the Titans' tower, Robin informs his team that the lead is a dead end and retreats into his room. At midnight, he calls up the team and asks them to meet at a location where Red X is trying to steal another chip. The team rushes to the spot and finds Robin running after Red X. Red X stops Robin with a net, and the rest of the Titans follow him into the subway. This time, the Titans prove a better match for Red X, but when Beast Boy falls in front of the train, Red X saves him and flees. After that, Red X again contacts Slade, who shares that he has seen security footage of the actions, but still wants Red X to steal the final chip. Once the call is cut, Red X removes the mask to reveal himself as Robin. Did anyone notice how Robin becomes taller as Red X? When Starfire looks for Robin in his room, she comes across evidence proving he is Red X. Red X steals the final chip, and finally, Slade meets him in person. However, Slade already knows it is Robin as he grabs the chips from him. Slade reveals an army of robots to fight Red X. The others arrive and try to stop Red X from going after Slade, and Robin reveals himself. The cartoon made Red X so popular that it was even introduced in the DC Comics canon. Robin runs after Slade and engages in another combat, but when Robin starts to fall off a building, Slade saves him. The two fight again, and Robin secures the chip, but once again, Slade turns out to be a robot with a monitor. The robot self-destructs, and the team returns to their tower. The story ends with Starfire, making Robin realize how his distrust makes him much like Slade. Mad Mod. The Teen Titans find themselves bound to chairs with bespoke restraints as a red-haired man with a British accent introduces himself as Mad Mod. The villain is tired of the Teen Titans' pompous behavior and how they are always there to spoil the fun. Mad Mod reveals that he kidnapped the Titans using knockout gas and now plans to teach them a lesson. He separates the Titans into different classrooms, and Robin is the first to get free of his chair. School properties and Mad Mod busts attack Robin as he tries to escape the classrooms. However, escaping the checkered themed school or capturing Mad Mod seems to be an impossible feat. Mad Mod is one of the earliest villains from Teen Titans Volume 1, Issue number 7 and number 17, who reappeared in Teen Titans Volume 2, Issue number 2. The character is a reference to the 1960s British mod culture, which is referenced throughout the episode. Robin manages to rescue Starfire from being crushed in the library and finds Beast Boy in the chemistry lab, but Beast Boy is already affected by the hypno screens. Starfire shouts at the hypnotized and drooling Beast Boy, but it doesn't work. Cyborg and Raven reunite with them and explain that they were trapped in the computer classroom and gym, respectively. Cyborg bursts in Beast Boy's ears to make him laugh, which snaps him out of the hypnotism, and the team charge at Mad Mod. What ensues is a comical montage of the Teen Titans chasing after Mad Mod, with a Japanese song K2G by Puffy Amiyumi enthralling us. Puffy Amiyumi also sang the Japanese theme song in this episode's intro. Eventually, the team tires out and stops the music. Robin deduces that Mad Mod's power source must be his cane and rallies the team to charge after the villain. However, Mad Mod separates the team with blocks and recaptures the Titans, except for Robin, who arrives at the platform where Mad Mod is standing. The episode makes you wonder why the Titans don't go to a real school when most DC superheroes have real jobs for their alter egos. While attacking, Robin realizes Mad Mod is a hologram and everything is fake. He gets into the walls exposed by one of Starfire's attacks. As Robin diffuses all the wires, the mechanizations start falling, and Robin finds the real old Mad Mod controlling the house from a control room. Although the unruly students succeed in escaping from the demanding school, Beast Boy is still hypnotized. As everybody wonders if Beast Boy's brain is gone, Raven loudly wonders if he even had one. The joke helps wake Beast Boy successfully. Apprentice. Part 1. Robin confronts Slade in a desert, only to find himself underneath Slade's mask. As soon as he wakes up from the nightmare, Cyborg calls him. Slade appears on Titan's Tower's large TV screen and informs the team of his menacing plan to stop time with the Chronoton detonator. Robin wastes no time to find the detonator, but his team tries to stop him. Despite Starfire reminding him of past events, Robin is obnoxiously obsessed with beating Slade. Raven finally points out that the sign of Pier 41 is reflected on the detonator in Slade's video message, and that's where they should start searching. Slade, aka Death / the Terminator, differs from his comic book version as the animated series has turned him into a more Machiavellian criminal. When the team reaches the location, they are surrounded by Slade's robot army, and the Teen Titans start rounding off the robots. However, the other Titans barely get their chance as Robin angrily takes down all the robots. Robin even attacks an innocent dock worker, and Raven has to stop him from making a mistake. The Titans finally get a clue when Starfire starts sneezing starbursts due to her allergy to metallic chronoton. Cyborg suggests they can use Starfire to locate the detonator and eventually gets into an underground sewer where they notice Slade's robots loading the detonator onto a boat. Once again, the Teen Titans combat the robot commando minions, while Robin gets distracted by a sudden interruption of Cinderblock. The robot commandos are shown to have augmented powers and are a reminiscence of the foot soldiers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1987. Robin easily wins his bout against Cinderblock and finds Slade's location as he goes after him. Meanwhile, the other Titans chase after the speedboat and evade its defense system to finally get on the boat. Cyborg stops the boat by pulling its wires out, but gets clueless about defusing the Chronoton detonator. On the other hand, Robin finally breaks into Slade's lair, and as Slade places the remote on the table, the duo gets into the ultimate duel. The agile and sleek fight moves take the cake and are no doubt pleasing to the eyes. However, it causes the remote to break, and Robin realizes it's a decoy. Simultaneously, Cyborg and Raven work together to defuse the detonator, which gets short-circuited, but instead of detonating, it disintegrates. Several guns then appear and shoot the Titans, making them fall into the water. Slade reveals his true convoluted plans as he explains to Robin that the laser introduced nanoscopic probes into the Titans' bloodstream, allowing Slade to kill the Titans from inside. Slade reveals his evil plan was to make Robin his ultimate apprentice. Slade blackmails Robin to join him, and Robin dons the apprentice's suit, while his friends worry about him going missing. Apprentice. Part 2. With Robin suddenly absconding and his Titan communicator off, the other Teen Titans desperately searching for their leader. They are close to discovering that the Chronoton detonator was a decoy placed by Slade to take Robin away from them. Soon enough, the team gets an alarm of a robbery and finds Robin as the thief. Their bewilderment at the reveal allows Robin to escape easily, and he returns to Slade with the weapon. Slade threatens his unwilling protege to obey him and sends Robin on another devious mission to Wayne Enterprise. Slade offers to be like Robin's father, but Robin replies that he already has one, and several bats fly across the sky. The scene is a tribute to Robin's mentor and guardian, Batman. The Titans appear to stop Robin from stealing the Wayne Industry merch, and as Robin tries to run away, Slade forces him to fight his friends. Even though Slade is the focus of the first season, we feel he didn't get as much screen time as he should. This could be because producers were rather clueless about how to frame out the arc, and only after Bruce Timm GM noted how Slade is trying to separate Robin from his friends, did the producers get more solid ground. Equipped with the stolen thermal blaster, Robin aims it at Starfire as Slade forces him to attack. Yet, Robin is unable to attack, and Slade activates the nanoscopic probes, which start killing the other Titans. Robin reluctantly attacks his friends, and Slade deactivates the probes. A desperate Robin gets into an impressive fight with his friends, surprising Slade. Robin returns to Slade's lair and tries to attack him, but Slade might be more skilled. The two get into a second battle, while Starfire realizes that Robin is likely blackmailed by Slade. The Titans arrive at Slade's place to take him down. Meanwhile, Slade and Robin's duel rages on as Slade asks Robin to call him Master. The other Titans stop him, and as Robin asks his friends to leave, they refuse. Slade triggers the probes and orders Robin to attack, but this time, Robin has better ideas. He holds the machine controlling the probes, which causes the probes to enter his own body. Robin forces Slade to shut off the probes to save his apprentice. Slade angrily obliges, and the Titans attack him. The combat breaks Slade's mask, partially revealing his face, which is still in the dark. The question, who is Slade, remains as Slade leaves, promising to get back at them. Slade also activates the self-destruction of his lair, and the Titans escape the falling building. Later, at the Titans' tower, it is revealed that all the probes are now extracted from their bloodstream. Robin and Starfire also reconcile, and the team returns to their revelry. Car Trouble. This season's final episode was produced before, so you may understand why it's a standalone episode. It begins with Cyborg engineering the Titans' official transportation, the T-Car, which he introduces to his friends with great flourish. The team gets an alert about an electric energy supervillain called Overload, and Cyborg takes the car to drive his team to Cook Electronics. However, while the Teen Titans fight Overload, Sammy and Cash steal the car. These characters are a homage to series producer Sam Register. The Titans defeat Overload by spraying him with water, but when the team comes out of Cook Electronics, Cyborg gets devastated to find his car stolen. He abandons the team to look for his car and gets offended when Raven calls it just a car. Cyborg questions a punk who informs him that Sammy and Cash have taken the car to race in the crash alley. A tiny but technologically advanced car gives the T-Car stiff competition in the race, yet the T-Car wins. Gizmo reveals himself as the driver of the tiny car and takes away the T-Car, leaving Sammy and Cash in an air bubble. Gizmo is a middle-aged midget in the comics and has been redesigned for the series, which we think was wise as teens. Fighting teens makes it entertaining. Cyborg confronts Sammy and Cash, who tell him about Gizmo. Gizmo, the underaged and undersized driver, succeeds in evading Cyborg with his rash driving, and Cyborg gets more dejected to see Gizmo get away with his beloved car. Raven comes in support of Cyborg and encourages him. They borrow Sammy and Cash's convertible to pursue the T-Car. The chase occurs on a hillside road beside the ocean, ultimately leading to T-Car crashing into a prison transportation van. Director Alex Soto and Glenn Murakami wanted to pay homage to American Graffiti 1973 through this episode, but for us, the chase sequence may further remind us of the Fast and Furious franchise, which was also tapped into by the makers. Although Gizmo is captured, Overload escapes and takes control of the T-Car, transforming it into his style by inserting his own core circuit into the car. In a rather unconventional emotional moment, Cyborg blows up the car to defeat Overload, and all the miscreants are arrested together. Later, Raven encourages Cyborg to rebuild the car with the remains of the car part and the Cyborg core circuit, which is the heart of the car. However, it is not the only time T-Car faces brutality. Season 2. How Long is Forever? It's a happy day for Starfire as she wants to celebrate the Tamaranian festival of friendship called Blorthog. To her dismay, Starfire finds her friends bickering and fighting amongst each other. When Cyborg accidentally makes Starfire drop pearl necklaces, she bursts out in anger. Although the others try to assure Starfire, they get an alert and rush to the Technological Museum, where a time-travelling criminal called Warp tries to steal the Clock of Eternity. Starfire follows Warp as he opens a wormhole and jumps into it with the artifact. Starfire continues fighting Warp and rips off his lens, making them fall into a different timeline. Warp is a villain from the comics and a part of the Brotherhood of Evil. Starfire ends up outside the ruined Titan's tower, and it is cold outside. Inside, she finds an older cyborg, who informs her that it's been 20 years since she got sucked into the wormhole. Cyborg is unable to help Starfire find Warp, as he is plugged into a generator. Cyborg also informs her that he has lost touch with Robin. Seeking to get help, Starfire first meets Beast Boy, who has turned into a bald and fat-bellied adult who runs a one-man circus. He stays inside a cage and transforms into various animals to entertain people, but he confesses the cage is to protect himself from the barbarians outside. Starfire visits Raven in a mental health care facility. It seems the disconnection and loneliness have turned Raven insane, as she refuses to even look at Starfire. A disheartened Starfire walks through the blizzard when she gets attacked by Warp. Warp has also turned older due to Starfire damaging the vortex regulator. Warp throws Starfire into a ditch, and when she blames him for the situation, he explains that time cannot be changed. As per history, the regulator disappeared, so Warp went back in time to steal it. Warp grabs the regulator, but a mystery figure saves Starfire. Starfire recognizes him as Robin, but he introduces himself as Nightwing. In the comics, after quitting his role as Batman's sidekick Robin, Dick Grayson went to Superman for advice, and he eventually became Nightwing. Nightwing takes Starfire to his own base and listens to her. He shows her the old Titans communicator and switches it on. This sends signals to the rest of the Titans. Starfire and Nightwing head back to the museum to stop Warp from repairing his regulator and going back. As they get into a fight, the other Titans also appear. It's absolutely hilarious when Beast Boy realizes that the future has been unfair in giving Nightwing a long mane of dark hair while Beast Boy has gone bald. Eventually, Nightwing's bird orangs destroy the time regulator on Warp, causing him to turn into a baby, whereas the wormhole opened by Warp starts diminishing in size. Cyborg widens the portal, and Nightwing gives back the artifact to Starfire so that she can get to her real time. Starfire returns a few seconds after she vanishes into the wormhole and informs the others how she changed the history. Later, Starfire tells the Titans about their future self, and Robin gets intrigued by the concept of Nightwing. The day ends well as everyone celebrates her Blorthog festival. Every dog has his day. Although every dog has his day, it just might not be Beast Boy's, as he gets ignored by his friends, who would rather do their own thing. Beast Boy dejectedly enters the city to look for fun and tries to flirt with two girls but fails miserably. When he notices the girls fawn over a dog, Beast Boy transforms into one, but the girls are weirded out by his green colour and odour. On the other hand, another green dog rummaging through the dumpster suddenly gets chased by a UFO. While running, the dog crashes into dog-shaped Beast Boy, and instead of the alien dog, Beast Boy gets zapped into the spaceship. The rest of the Titans get an alert and investigate the location when Starfire notices Beast Boy's communicator. As they discuss what must have happened, the alien dog comes out of nowhere, jumps on Raven and starts licking her. The alien called Soto is amazed at how Beast Boy can change his form. He ties Beast Boy to a restraint and uses a remote to shock him when Beast Boy disobeys. Beast Boy changes into numerous animals, but still fails to escape the collar. The alien's name is, of course, a reference to the series director, Alex Soto. In the meantime, the Titans also mistake Soto's dog as Beast Boy and chase him across the city. The montage finishes when they realise something is utterly wrong with the dog, and it's not Beast Boy. Titans use Raven as bait to capture Soto's dog. The dog's weird infatuation for Raven is not the only disturbing thing in this episode, but also Soto's childlike behaviour. Soto's catchphrase, Soto Smash, might be a reference to Hulk. The Titans are in for another shock when the dog speaks in a human voice. The dog tells them about the alien and offers to help the Titans if they set him free. On the other hand, Soto attempts to take Beast Boy to his planet at the far end of the galaxy. The ship gets stopped by the rest of the Titans as it crashes back on Earth. Soto emerges from the spaceship and starts fighting the Titans, who use all their tricks but fail to subdue the alien. Ultimately, Beast Boy changes into a dinosaur and knocks off Soto, allowing others to attack him together and take him down. It appears Beast Boy finally succeeded in freeing himself with the help of Soto's dog. Beast Boy places the collar on Soto's neck, and, as Soto offers to be the pet, his dog agrees to go back. While Beast Boy reconciles with his friend, he declares he has had enough attention for a day.
Raven, look out!
Terra. A girl called Terra runs through a rocky desert while chased by a monstrous scorpion. The Teen Titans arrive to help her, but she doesn't need saving as she drops a large boulder on the scorpion with her superpowers. The Teen Titans are mightily amazed, and while Beast Boy develops a crush, Starfire calls Terra her new friend. Despite Robin and Raven's doubts, the rest of the team invites Terra to their tower when she informs them that she has been living a nomad life. However, the Teen Titans are not the only ones with their eyes on Terra, as Slade also keeps a close watch. Terra makes herself at home in the Titans' tower as she gorges on food, takes a shower to wash all the mud, and even cleans her clothes. She is also quick to pass out. The show's producers have altered Terra's design to make her more contemporary and have given her normal clothes. The Teen Titans decide to ask her to take part in their training, but Terra overhears and gets upset. Later at night, Beast Boy finds her brooding outside the tower, and Terra confesses about her struggles with controlling her powers. Beast Boy promises to keep her secret as they grow closer. The next day, Cyborg sets a record in the obstacle course, and Terra is the second to follow. Although Terra has trouble controlling her powers and overcoming obstacles, she still manages to break Cyborg's record, but she destroys the obstacle course in the process. Everyone congratulates her, but they barely have time to discuss anything further as they get news about Slade's return. The Teen Titans arrive at a mine to stop Slade's robot minions from stealing diamonds. The Teen Titans defeat the minions, but Terra accidentally drops boulders on Beast Boy. Beast Boy survives, but Terra gets terrified and runs away. As she hides, she notices Slade running and stops him. It's not a surprise when Slade reveals he is the one who trapped her. It seems Slade has abandoned his hopes of recruiting Robin and has set his eyes on Terra. In the comics, Deathstroke and Terra have a different and intimate relationship, which is rather uncomfortable since she is supposed to be a minor. Slade uses manipulation and lies to provoke Terra against the Teen Titans. He offers to help Terra find control and asks her to think about it. Terra gets overwhelmed and loses her control. Beast Boy goes after Terra, but Robin realizes that the sudden earthquake is not caused by Terra. Beast Boy finds Terra and calms her down, promising not to reveal her secrets to anyone. Later, at the tower, the Teen Titans ask Terra to stay back and even give her a Titan communicator. However, when Robin promises to help her control her powers, Terra assumes that Beast Boy broke his promise and leaves in anger. Robin apologizes to a heartbroken Beast Boy. On the other hand, Slade bids time as he waits for Terra to approach him. Only human. It's training time for the Teen Titans, and everyone is pushing their limits. Cyborg has taken on the task of weightlifting, and everybody cheers him on to give more than his 100%, but Cyborg fails and gets mad at others. This scene resembles Tales of the Teen Titans issue number 42. Cyborg explains to Robin that when he was a human athlete, he always gave more than 100%. But since he got turned into a half-robot, the cybernetic parts of his body have set the limit of his power. This refers to Cyborg's origin as Victor Stone, who had a bright, athletic career until an accident forced him to get cybernetic prosthetics to sustain. Cyborg's friends try to cheer him up, but Starfire's Tamarinian horrific folk song worsens the situation. Robin realizes that Cyborg needs time alone and ushers everyone out. Cyborg defeats the best player, Atlas, in the online game and rejoices. But Atlas is a sore loser and demands a rematch, to which Cyborg agrees. This doesn't go the way Cyborg or any of us expected, as a giant robot called Atlas appears in the ops room and throws Cyborg out of the tower. The two get into a physical fight, and soon the other Titans rush out. Atlas's human companion Spike tries to stop them, but Robin brushes him off. With Cyborg already injured, the other Titans fail to make a scratch on Atlas, who captures them. Atlas challenges Cyborg to another round in an abandoned stadium in exchange for his friend's freedom. During the second rematch, Atlas proves far stronger than Cyborg, and his loyal mechanic Spike continues to re-equip and aid him. Overwhelmed by his own insecurities and doubts, Cyborg fails to defend himself and loses, but Atlas doesn't keep his word and leaves with the other imprisoned Titans as his trophy. Robin notices how poorly Atlas treats Spike and tries to make him see the truth. Atlas demands a constant supply of fuel from Spike. On the other hand, Cyborg feels that he has let down his friends, but finally realizes that he must try to cross his limits. Just as Atlas abuses Spike for bringing him cold fuel, Cyborg breaks into his lair. Cyborg relies on his human side this time, enabling him to serve the perfect blows on Atlas. Robin also makes Spike realize that Spike is the real strength of Atlas. Atlas and Spike are original to the animated Teen Titans and do not appear in the comics. Spike abandons Atlas, releases the Titans, and joins Cyborg's side. Without Spike's help, Atlas cannot appropriately upgrade his armor, while the Titans and Spike start cheering for Cyborg. Cyborg unleashes more than 100% of himself and finally defeats Atlas. While Atlas accepts his defeat, Cyborg accepts his human side. Fear itself. The story begins at a video store being terrorized by a couch potato villain called Control Freak. He uses a TV remote to bring objects to life or turn them into monstrous creatures. The Teen Titans struggle to get their handle on Control Freak's monsters. Robin fights a samurai cutout, Cyborg fights evil candies, and others fight videotapes, cassettes, and discs. During the battle, Beast Boy and Control Freak also nerd over their mutual interest in a new horror movie called Wicked Scary. Now, this is something we can relate to. After taking a few beatings, the team figures out how to fight back, and Robin turns on the sprinklers to discharge all the electronic monsters. The Titans take Control Freak's remote and hand him to the police. Control Freak was created by this episode's writer, Dwayne McDuffie. Control Freak refers to a show called Warp Trek, which is a reference to Star Trek. Beast Boy gets the new movie DVD for free, and the Titans return to the tower. Robin places the remote in their trophy room, which displays souvenirs from other epic fights in Season 1. Wicked Scary turns out to be an extremely terrifying horror movie, but Raven refuses to accept that she got scared. Raven wakes in the middle of the night with a sound and rushes to investigate it. As the Teen Titans get attacked by the monsters from the movie, Beast Boy believes the movie is cursed. Raven notices that her power is gone, and the others get a little closer to the truth. However, they assume the monsters are conjured by Control Freak to take revenge, as the Titans work together to find the source of all the noises, movements, and threats. They are continuously attacked. Robin discovers that the TV remote is still in the trophy room and realizes that Control Freak is not behind the attack. However, Robin gets dragged away by an unseen monster before he can reveal the truth. One by one, all the Titans get taken away by the monsters until Raven is left alone. As the monsters surround Raven, she realizes that she is actually scared. The Trigon-like monster is a huge giveaway in this scene, and the way he is teased throughout the show is a nice build-up for what comes in Season 4. Raven accepts the fear and unleashes her powers, which causes all the monsters to disappear, and Raven faints. When she wakes up, Raven finds her friends surrounding her. Robin explains that Raven manifested the monsters as she tried to suppress her fears. Raven blushes and apologizes to everyone, which is a rare sight to watch. The Teen Titans are further greeted by a new dawn and decide to sleep over. Date with Destiny. This episode is wild. Let us tell you why. Killer Moth has made a killer plan of domination, but there is a crisis at hand as his teenage bratty daughter Kitten demands he finds a handsome date for her. Kitten's ex-boyfriend Fang has dumped her, and she finds Robin as the perfect prom date. The boy in question is currently invested in defending the city from the menace of a jewel thief who has a spider as a head. If this weirds you out, wait till the end of the episode. While fighting Spider-Man, Robin gets attacked by his venomous spit, which paralyzes Robin. Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy continue chasing the criminal, while Starfire takes Robin to the Titan's tower and helps him regain his bearings. When Robin calls the others about a status report, he learns that a horde of monstrous moths is attacking the city. The three Titans on Bay Bridge get exhausted while trying to keep up and save the bridge from collapsing. They finish off all the moths, only to find a larger horde approaching. Killer Moth calls Robin and demands the city and the Titans to surrender, as well as asks Robin to take Kitten to prom. Killer Moth is a Batman villain who used to dress as a giant moth, but later got transformed into half moth, half human by a demon called Neron. At first, Starfire assumes assumes that prom must be some sort of duel, but gets extremely jealous when she realizes it's a date. Robin begrudgingly agrees to the date and asks Kitten out, while he asks his friends to find out the connection between Killer Moth and Kitten. Robin suits up in a tuxedo and takes his motorbike to the prom, but Starfire also arrives in a prom dress so that she can keep an eye on and save him. The premises do much to sail the Robin Starfire ship from the comic books, and we love it. Kitten shows off her prom date and forces Robin to take her arm and dance with her, while Starfire simmers off in anger. Meanwhile, the others find Kitten's home and discover Killer Moth's underground lair. The house is a replica of the Brady Bunch, 1969. The Titans engage Killer Moth in combat, but as the news reaches Robin, he refuses to follow any more of Kitten's orders. Kitten reveals she has the real remote control and forces Robin to kiss her, but thankfully, Fang is here, who is none other than the Spider Guy. It gets sick when Kitten kisses the spider head, but we do appreciate the gross quotient added for fun. Fang and Robin fight, and so do Starfire and Kitten. Kitten reveals that Killer Moth is her dad. The other Titans block all the exit points to stop the moths from getting out. Fang paralyzes several prom-goers, but Robin manages to win the bout. He also destroys the remote control, making the moths inside Killer Moth's lair become larvae. The villains are taken to jail, but Kitten swears revenge. However, Robin couldn't be bothered as he and Starfire won the prom king and queen crown. They end the day with a dance.
Relax, dear.
Transformation. The story in this segment is told by a narrator who introduces us to a happy young alien girl, Starfire. One day, Starfire notices an inexplicably large zit on her forehead, and she spends a long time in the bathroom trying to suppress it. Starfire covers the zit with a hat and seeks guidance from Raven, who explains it's common. Starfire's sudden internal growth causes her fingernails, ears, and collarbones to grow as she desperately tries to hide her deformities from her friends. Needless to say, it's puberty for the Tamaranians, and, like all human teenagers, Starfire is freaking out. She gets scared that she might be considered a monster and abandoned by her friends. The story of this episode is a classic reference to the anime FLCL. The Teen Titans face off with Plasmus in a school gym as it starts consuming the toxic waste from its sewer pipes. The Titans struggle to defeat the powered-up monster, but Starfire arrives at last and transforms Plasmus into human form. However, everyone is shocked to find her all covered in weird fashion. Plasmus wakes up and spits acid, burning Starfire's extra clothing, revealing her mutated appearance. Assuming and imagining that everyone is laughing at her, Starfire leaves Earth and goes to other planets. A sinister creature also follows Starfire when she crosses an asteroid belt. However, the aliens on other planets are either horrified or repulsed by her until she finds an uninhabited planet on which to land. Back on Earth, Robin can barely wait to venture out into space to look for Starfire, and Cyborg redesigns the T-ship submarine for space travel. The team sets out looking for Starfire and follows the same route as her as the aliens direct them towards her. In the uninhabited planet, a carnivorous plant devours Starfire but spits her out in disgust, which is possibly the highest form of insult. This drives Starfire into more self-loathing until a beautiful woman approaches her. The mysterious woman explains to Starfire that she is going through a much-needed transformation, and Starfire recalls how Blackfire's transformation phase was much simpler. The mysterious woman reveals that each transformation is unique, and Starfire will change into a chrysalis. Saying this, the woman transforms herself into a monster, revealing that she is a Siero-Nelian Cry Salis Eater. The diverse storytelling and quirky episodes might make you feel that the producers have stretched their limits. However, it was just what Cartoon Network had ordered. Even though this whole thing is bizarre, Starfire starts turning into a chrysalis, and the Eater asks her to scream when the other Titans arrive and save her. Robin helps Starfire out of the cocoon, and now she looks normal. Starfire now uses her new ability of eye blasts to defeat the Eater, which gets eaten by the carnivorous plant. With the monsters defeated, Starfire's friends assure her that they would like her in any form. They return to Earth together to lead a happy life until Beast Boy gets chickenpox.
Good, Robin. Now I have you all to myself.
Titan Rising. The Teen Titans play beach volleyball with only Raven meditating, and she refuses to join despite all the provocations. When the ball gets shot far off, Terra returns with the ball and asks which team she should be on. Just like in The New Teen Titans, Volume 1, Issue number 30, Terra returns in a new attire and informs the Titans that she has gained control of her power and is willing to join them. Beast Boy and Starfire are overjoyed, but Raven has her inhibitions. Terra shows off her new skills, but when there is a sudden earthquake, everyone wonders if it's her. Terra assures them it's not her, and they return to the tower. They notice something moving beneath the city's ground. Before heading out, Raven asks Robin if he trusts Terra, and Robin is willing to give her a second chance. However, when Terra brushes past Raven, she gets an uneasy premonition. This reflects what happens in The New Teen Titans, Volume 1, Issue number 28, and Tales of the Teen Titans, Issue number 41, where Raven's empathic powers help her sense something off with Terra. Teen Titans and Terra fight off the giant robotic drill worm that emerges from the ground. It proves almost impossible to take down the worm, and the situation worsens when Raven distrusts Terra and argues with her. Their tug of war gives the worm a chance to retreat into a large burrow. Slade calls Robin on his communicator and asks to find him in the burrow. The team enters the large burrow and gets surrounded by 3 large drill worms. They get startled when the drill worms avoid the Titans and go toward the surface. Robin instructs Cyborg to take Starfire and Beast Boy to stop the worms, while he takes Raven and Terra to further dig through the ground and find Slade. Once again, the girls compete against each other and, eventually, enter a huge underground fortress with mining mechanisms. Cyborg's team fails to stop the worms, which go into the air and start a drilling procedure. Cyborg notices it's above the Titan's tower. A similar drilling procedure starts underneath, as Slade's master plan to sink the Titan's tower underground is revealed. Slade stops Robin from hacking into the main computer, and the duo gets into an elevator while fighting. When Terra tries to smash the computer with a rock, Raven stops her and explains how it can backfire. Terra finally trusts Raven, but a boulder falls on the computer, which increases the forces of the lasers in the drill worms. On the other hand, Slade escapes, and Robin has to make his own way out. On the outside, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Starfire destroy the drill worms, but the tower still sinks. Terra and Raven work together to bring up the tower. Later, Raven declares Terra as her friend, and they joke together. The team shows Terra her own room in the tower and gifts her a communicator. She is amazed that the team trusts her, and I would be lying if I said that's not suspicious at all. Winner take all. The Teen Titans, sans Terra, because this is not about her, are playing a card game in their tower. The final competition is between Cyborg and Robin, in which Cyborg wins, but Robin does not accept defeat. He demands a rematch, but all the boys suddenly disappear and appear in an unknown dimension, along with others. An alien-like being called the Master of Games introduces himself and informs everyone that he has invited all the heroes to compete in the Tournament of Heroes. Master of Games introduces the contestants: Robin, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Gizmo, Aqualad, Hotspot, Wildebeest, and Speedy. He gives the boys the chance to refuse to compete, but boys, being boys, eagerly agree. As the contestants mingle, Cyborg gets mad that Gizmo made the cut, while Speedy and Robin hit it off as if they are alike. In the comics, Speedy is Green Arrow's sidekick and is one of the founding Teen Titans members. He later assumed the name Arsenal. In the first round, Cyborg faces off with Gizmo, Beast Boy fights Wildebeest, Robin combats Hotspot, while Aqualad battles it out with Speedy. After some interesting and excellent fighting, Cyborg, Wildebeest, Robin and Speedy win their individual fights. As the Master of Games zaps away the losers, others worry, but the Master of Games assures the winners that he has returned them to their homes. Once alone, the Master of Game rejoices about how his plan worked, and the voices of the lost contenders can be heard from his medallion. Fortunately or not, Cyborg tries to connect to home, but his calls fail to connect, and he informs Robin. However, the zeal for winning turns Robin into a snob, and he misunderstands that Cyborg is planning to sabotage him. Cyborg witnesses the Master of Game flaunting the powers and skills of all the fighters he absorbed. To ensure Cyborg doesn't reveal the truth, the villain disqualifies and zaps him in. The next day, the Master of Game informs the others about Cyborg's disqualification and commences the final game. As the fight begins, Robin and Speedy seem to be pairing off to remove Wild Beast from the competition. The Heroes versus Heroes terrifically worked and showed Robin's boyish side, which we love. Wildebeest was originally a villain in the comics, while Master of Game is original to this series. Finally, Robin and Speedy fight each other for a long time, using different skills and tactics, until Robin breaks off Speedy's bow. With Speedy lost, the Master of Game zaps him and reveals to Robin that there is no prize for him after all. Realizing that his friends are all trapped in the medallion, Robin instigates the villain to fight him. However, the amulet gets hit during the fight and lets out Cyborg and Speedy. After an "I told you so," Cyborg and Speedy join Robin in fighting the villain. The amulet falls, and all the beamed heroes are released together. Accepting his defeat, the Master of Game vanishes, but his medallion remains. Robin presents everyone with an honorary Titan communicator, but Cyborg snatches away Gizmo's one. The heroes use the medallion to return to their home. But the games are never over, as the episode ends with the Master of Games inviting all the heroines this time. But we needn't worry, as Starfire already gets a bad feeling from the competition. Betrayal. Teen Titans and Terra fight a group of Slade's robots as Terra synchronizes perfectly with the Titans to take down the robots. During the sequence, a camera records great details about each of the Titans. It's pretty clear now that Terra is collecting and providing Slade with sensitive information about the Titans, but her silhouette is still in the dark, as Slade congratulates his apprentice for the good work. The Teen Titans also cheer Terra for her performance and reward her with the last slice of pizza. At night, Cyborg switches on the T-Tower security and everybody retires to bed. Terra sends Slade the last bit of information when Beast Boy knocks on her door and awkwardly asks her out. He even gifts her a heart-shaped mirror box, but Terra panics and shuts the door on his face. The mirror theme resonates throughout the episode as Terra questions herself. Beast Boy returns to his room and wonders about all the different ways he could have asked her out, but Terra invites him out. This is the first episode that premiered on the Toonami block and in Cartoon Network's CN City era. While Terra takes Beast Boy out of the tower, Slade's robots enter, and Cyborg is the first to discover the intruders. Unaware of what's happening at the tower, Beast Boy enjoys his time with Terra. They go to a shady diner, but when Terra sees Slade's reflection, she drags Beast Boy away, and his communicator falls off. The other Titans fail to contact Beast Boy, and as all the Titans fight the robots, they find it suspicious that both Beast Boy and Terra cannot be contacted. Terra's betrayal feels somewhat undercooked in the series, but the range of emotions is spectacular. Meanwhile, Terra takes Beast Boy to an amusement park, and we are treated to a romantic montage of them enjoying. Even in the comics, Beast Boy falls for Terra and gets crushed after her betrayal, but the cartoon version of Terra is made more sympathetic than the evil Terra from the comic books. Terra starts feeling guilty and tries to confess to Beast Boy. They are about to kiss when Slade appears on the Ferris wheel. Beast Boy fights with Slade, refusing to believe that Terra has betrayed them. Terra runs away with Beast Boy, and the two enter a hall of mirrors, with Slade following them inside. The truth comes out as Terra finally confesses about her involvement with Slade. Beast Boy gets heartbroken, while Terra leaves with Slade. In the New Teen Titans Volume 1, issue number 34, it was revealed that Terra was planted as a spy. The next morning, the signs of devastation and a battle are clear in the tower, and the Titans discuss how Terra must have revealed all their secrets and weaknesses to Slade. They have won the battle and saved their home, but the kids still feel lost, especially Beast Boy, who turns into a dog and shuts himself off in his room. Fractured. For the Teen Titans, their trust has fractured, but what gets fractured in this episode is the reality and our brains. It starts with Robin chasing Johnny Rancid through a stormy jump city. Both are on their motorbikes, and Johnny rebukes Robin by calling him a kid. However, Robin's biking skills are not a match for Johnny's, who takes his vehicle to the sides of a bridge. Robin follows, but a misjudged trajectory causes him to crash while Johnny gets away. The next morning, Raven uses her healing powers to minimize the fracture on Robin's hand. The Titans urge Robin not to go after Johnny, but he suddenly acts abnormal, and a short boy with Robin's clothes pops out of his head. The guy calls himself the same as Robin, and a quick DNA analysis shows that they are the same. The smaller Robin introduces himself as Robin's fan, and is named Noziarg K. Sid, which is just Dick Grayson spelled backward. Beast Boy simply names him Larry for the sake of us. This crazy idea was conceived during Season 1 when the creatives wanted to use a loser-like Titan called Larry. They didn't want to use something like Mr. MXYZPTLK, so Larry, being an interdimensional character, is similar to the Batmite that appears in the 60s and 70s Batman comic books. However, Larry is not a mischief maker or evil. He is just a super excited, innocent fool who makes things worse unwittingly. Larry makes a mess at the Titan Tower and unintentionally tortures Robin while trying to fix his fractured hand. Robin gets frustrated and shoves Larry, which fractures Larry's magic fingers, and the reality gets fractured. Robin, Larry, and the other Titans fighting Rancid get thrown into the city, which now appears like a crayon drawing on Cyborg's grandma's fridge. The broken reality has caused Beast Boy to lose his mouth, and his voice changes as he borrows Raven's mouth to speak. Larry asks Raven to heal his finger, but Raven doesn't want to dab into the already fractured reality. The episode includes several comedy elements, and one of the best things is the Japanese title song, hilariously sung by Puffy Amiyumi's producer Toshiro Kai. The Titans head to their tower, but Robin still blames himself for everything. Beast Boy finds his mouth but pastes it in the wrong way, which makes his speech distorted. The situation worsens when the team reaches the T-Tower, which is the source of the beam fragmenting reality. They find Johnny Rancid on top of the tower, who enters the beam and turns into a demonic villain. Raven is impressed at the transformation, which might be a cool reference to her background. As Johnny tries to change the city into his own version, the Titans give him a fight. Larry further encourages Robin to regain his confidence and finally helps him defeat Rancid. In the end, Larry restores reality, but before heading back to his dimension, he also cures Robin's hand, but at the cost of stranding him in a white void.
Terra, stop! We're your friends!
I don't have any friends, remember?
Aftershock, Part 1. This two-part finale starts with Slade pepping up his ruthless apprentice Terra, who, for some inexplicable reason, wants to destroy her former friends, the Teen Titans. Terra attacks the Titans as they ride through the city in the T-Car. Beast Boy tries to stop Terra, but she won't listen. Terra's attacks now come with serious damage, and it feels like she particularly hates Raven, who seems to have similar powers. Terra almost crushes Raven, but Starfire saves her, and when Starfire hits back, Terra falls unconscious. Starfire shows concern for Terra, who reveals that she is pretending and attacks her back. Terra also conjures golems from the ground, and Slade explains through the earpiece that Terra's suit connects her nerves to Slade, so he can now fight back through her. Slade reveals that he is the one who channeled the golems. Realizing that it would be difficult to defeat Terra this way, Robin asks his team to retreat. The plot of this episode is related to the Judas Contract storyline from Teen Titans issues number 42 to 44 and annual issue number 3. Just like in the comic books, Terra uses her knowledge of the Titans' weakness to take them down. Back at the tower, Beast Boy is still willing to believe that Slade controls Terra, and he forces Robin to give her another chance. This is unjustifiable and foolish, considering that Terra has already been given several chances. To prove she doesn't deserve one, Terra releases Cinderblock, Plasmus, and Overload from the prison, and attaches the control device to their bodies, which could allow Slade to control them. The Titans are alarmed by the breakout and split up to catch the peculiar criminals. This is again similar to Bane's plan to distract Batman in the Nightfall arc. Raven goes after Overload and subdues him, while Beast Boy and Cyborg manage to take on Plasmus. Starfire and Robin fight with Cinderblock and succeed in defeating him. These villains also seem to have developed new abilities, like Plasmus now spits acid. In each case, Terra appears afterward and defeats the Titan. Terra outmatches Raven and drowns her in a pool of mud while she causes Starfire to fall into the ocean. Terra also pushes Beast Boy and Cyborg into an open fault line, and as they fall into the darkness, there is no trace of shame or guilt on her face. Robin is the only one who is able to get a jump on Terra, but she succeeds in making the table turn and sends a rock on his way. Later, Terra presents Robin's badge to Slade, while the Teen Titans somehow survive and assemble underground. This time, they are ready to take Terra down.
You can't control me!
Aftershock Part 2. The story continues with Terra's voiceover, which restates how she betrayed and destroyed the Titans. The city, now run over by Slade's robots, looks dark, desolate, and a dystopian world without the sight of any humans. As Terra patrols the abandoned city, she gets glimpses of memories of her time with the Titans. A flashback shows Terra and the Titans stopping Mumbo's bank robbery, which doesn't appear on the show but is included in a spin-off comic, Teen Titans Go issue number 12, which is based on this series. Suddenly, she gets ambushed by the shadows of the Teen Titans appearing in the fog. Terra gets terrified and runs away, while the Teen Titans come out of the shadows and locate Terra. Slade also scolds her for running away and asks Terra to return and fight back. Fighting the angry and merciless Teen Titans proves difficult, and Slade sends the 3 grotesque villains to aid Terra. The monstrous villains fuse together, becoming an abomination called Turnian. While the Titans battle with the Turnian, Terra returns to Slade's lair. She soon realizes that Slade never cared for her and decides to rip off the suit that controls her. However, Slade reveals that the suit's interface is infused with Terra's nervous system, so she can never get it off. Slade also shocks Terra and prevents her from leaving. On the other hand, the Titans defeat the Turnian, and Beast Boy leaves to get his revenge on Terra. He finds Terra, but she begs him to destroy her. The words "kill" are avoided in this children's series, and so terms like annihilate and destroy are used. Beast Boy gets taken aback at her sudden change in behaviour, and we find it moving how Beast Boy encourages Terra to take back control from Slade. Failing to do so, Terra almost kills Beast Boy, but the other Titans also arrive and help them. Terra finally gains control over herself and fights back with Slade. She seemingly kills Slade, but wakes up an underground volcano. Beast Boy urges Terra to evacuate the city with them, but she forces the Teen Titans to leave as she is the only one who can stop the eruptions. After confessing her friendship, Terra pushes Beast Boy away and sacrifices her life to stop the volcano. Terra into a statue, and sometime later, the Teen Titans visit the monument with flowers as they promise to bring her back. Season 3. Deception. The 3rd season takes us back to the Hive Academy villains Jinx, Gizmo, and Mammoth, who are stopped by the Teen Titans from robbing a bank. The villains escape, but Robin has placed a bug on them, which helps the Titans find the Hive Academy. The Teen Titans decide to infiltrate the Academy, and Cyborg is appointed to carry out the mission. Cyborg leaves a robotic double of himself with the Titans and has constructed a pair of hologram rings that help him change his appearance. Cyborg manages to get inside the Academy and does not raise any suspicions, yet he comes to the notice of the villainous trio who tries to bully him. Cyborg takes the alias of Stone and partakes in training. This is a reference to his real name, Victor Stone. Stone succeeds in performing better than the Hive students, which brings him to the attention of the headmaster, Brother Blood, who is impressed by Stone's constant progress. This Brother Blood significantly differs from the comic book version, where he was introduced as a religious cult leader in The New Teen Titans Volume 1, issues number 21 to 22. Over time, Stone wins over Jinx and Mammoth, with Jinx practically crushing over him. Gizmo hates that Stone became famous, but still includes him in their group, giving him a communicator. He is even inducted with a funny initiation process. During his time in the school, Cyborg keeps updating the Titans about the school and a mysterious school project he is unaware of. However, when Cyborg takes a long time to call, Robin calls Cyborg and asks him to find out about the mystery project. Cyborg logs into Brother Blood's computer and finds the school has built an ion amplifier. He is found out by Brother Blood, who mind controls Cyborg and promises to turn Cyborg human. Cyborg agrees to work for Hive. With Cyborg switching off their communication, the rest of the Titans sneak into Hive Academy but fall into a trap. Brother Blood introduces the Titans to the new villainous four, which includes Jinx, Gizmo, Mammoth, and Stone. As a fight ensues, Stone fights the Titans to their surprise. The cyborg double that Beast Boy had dragged into the Academy suddenly defends the Titans and fights with Stone, but Stone destroys the double, and in the process, one of his hologram rings gets broken. Although Cyborg's true identity is revealed, Brother Blood assures his students that Cyborg is with them and makes him wear the ion amplifier. He asks Cyborg to kill the Titans, who are now confined in a force field bubble. Cyborg attempts to kill them, but at the last moment directs the blasts towards the villains. Brother Blood deflects it and escapes with the others, reminding Cyborg that he made a wrong choice. Later at the T-Tower, Cyborg reveals he was never brainwashed, thanks to his part cybernetic brain. This balances out another episode that has already covered the strength of Cyborg's human side. Cyborg also removes his other hologram ring as he tells Starfire how he liked leading a normal school life. They are soon interrupted as the other Titans pull him for another initiation ritual since he temporarily left the Titans. X. In this unique episode, we are treated to a voiceover by Robin or Scott Menville, who voices the role. The episode starts with the Teen Titans chasing after a thief, only to find it's Red X. Once again, Red X seems adept at combating every Titan, including Robin, but when he tries to flee, Red X finds his utility belt's teleporter glitching. Robin uses the opportunity to pursue him, but Red X still manages to escape once the belt works. The other Teen Titans get confused, and Starfire pokes Robin 1,000 times to check if he is not a hologram. Cyborg also tries to see if he is a robot, but Robin assures them it's him. He recollects why and how he created the Red X costume. Beast Boy comes across various theories about Red X's identity, concluding that he is a bionic monkey. Although his friends ignore him, all the theories are a reference to actual characters. Robin finds that his Red X suit is indeed stolen, and realizes that Red X is after Xenothium, which powers the suit. While Cyborg tries to locate it, Robin finds Xenothium in his own way. He arrives at an abandoned observatory outside the city where he finds Professor Chang, who illegally procures Xenothium for his clients. Chang is a reference to James Hong's character, Hannibal Chu, in Blade Runner, as Hong also voices this role. Robin threatens Professor Chang to find the location of a Xenothium warehouse and then calls his friends to alert them of the location. However, Cyborg gets attacked by someone and doesn't appear at the rendezvous point. Still feeling guilty, Robin explains to Beast Boy that he didn't destroy the suit as Xenothium is dangerous to dispose of. After the rest of the team assembles, they encounter Red X, who has come to steal the ore, but once they follow him inside, Beast Boy, Raven and Starfire get abducted by someone. Robin and Red X face off with actions and themes inspired by John Woo movies. The duo's interesting exchange reveals Red X's more anti-hero nature. Red X gets hold of Xenothium, but the duo is attacked by Professor Chang's goons in hazmat suits. After they leave with the stolen ores, Robin recovers and confines Red X in bars. Since Professor Chang has captured the rest of the Titans, Robin seeks Red X's help, but he refuses, and Robin leaves. Meanwhile, Chang explains to Starfire how he wants to disintegrate the city with a large cannon. Robin breaks into the observatory to stop Chang, and suddenly, Red X appears to give Robin a hand. In this episode, Red X flirts with Starfire and is voiced by Scott Menville, which only raises the confusion. However, popular theory suggests he is Jason Todd, also known as Red Hood. Red X and Robin take down the cannon and the observatory while freeing the other Titans. Later, Red X tries to get away with Xenothium, but Robin has his belt, so Red X smashes the element and disappears into the night. Afterward, Raven returns the stolen Xenothium to the tech company, while Cyborg sends Professor Chang to prison. Robin locks up the belt but ends up brooding on the top of the T-Tower, which is partially destroyed by Chang's cannon. Betrothed. Shocking the Titans, Starfire announces that she is leaving for Tamaran to get married to her betrothed. Robin gets horrified at the news and can barely control his terror. While on their way to Tamaran, the T-ship suddenly gets attacked by an alien force. The Titans separate into individual pods, but as it proves too difficult to battle, they regroup and save themselves with evasive maneuvers. The team eventually arrives at the alien plant, and Starfire introduces her friends to her guardian, Galfor. Galfor addresses Starfire by her real name, Coriandar. The eccentric Tamaranian culture and aesthetic make the Titans nervous. But this is not all, as Blackfire appears as the realm's ruler. Blackfire further introduces Starfire to her betrothed, who turns out to be a handsomely built man. But wait, that's not him. It's a gross, slimy, blob-like creature called Glurder Squetch. Starfire gets disgusted by the sight of the creature, which Robin notices. Yet Blackfire insists on Starfire marrying Glurder Squetch, as it will mean establishing a truce with Drenthrax IV, which has its army standing guard outside the palace, and also the one to attack the T-ship. Not willing to let Starfire make such an unwise decision, Robin springs to action as he orders Cyborg and Beast Boy to find out about the army. They discover that the remote-controlled ships do not have any soldiers. Raven also spies on Blackfire, discussing her plans of revenge with Glurda Squetch. Glurda Squetch gives Blackfire the Jewel of Charter in exchange for Starfire. While some Titans get caught, Robin meets Starfire, but she refuses to go with him, and Robin gets captured. In the new Teen Titans, Volume 2, issues number 13 to 23, Starfire breaks her relationship with Nightwing and marries a Tamaranian prince called Karas. Moreover, in the comic books, Starfire was the rightful successor, not Blackfire. The only thing similar to the comics is that Blackfire took control of Tamaran and became queen. Once in Tamaran prison, the Titans exchange notes and attack the guards to stop Starfire from marrying the slimy ogre. On the other hand, Galfor tells Starfire to listen to her heart and then walks her to the Isle. But before Starfire can say her vows, Robin calls at her. The scene is inspired by the classic movie scene in The Graduate. Robin tells her the truth, and Starfire challenges Blackfire for the throne. The Jewel of Charter gives Blackfire an unfair edge, but Starfire still manages to unleash her rage and crush the jewel during the fight, ultimately defeating Blackfire. Starfire calls off the wedding and banishes Blackfire, but she admits she is not ready for the throne and passes the crown to the more deserving Galfor. It is a wise decision on her part, as Starfire must return to Earth with the Titans. Starfire leaves with the hope that she might find a husband on Earth. Galfor is a shipper like us, as he smiles at Starfire and Robin walking together. Crash. It's time for another quirky story, and it starts with Beast Boy obtaining the newest copy of a game called Mega Monkeys 4. He downloads the game illegally from an underground server in eastern Zandia. As per the comic books, Zandia is an island nation that hosts terrorists and criminals. As Beast Boy tries to play the game, every computer in the T-Tower rejects the program. He ultimately forces the disk into Cyborg's personal computer, only to learn that he has inserted it into Cyborg's main system. Judging from where it is procured, it's not surprising that the game contains a virus that quickly infects Cyborg. The infected Cyborg acts extremely odd, finding every living and non-living object edible. Since Cyborg is the only one who can treat himself, Robin decides to use Gizmo's help to cure Cyborg. When Gizmo refuses, Raven silently terrorizes him. Gizmo offers to shrink to microscopic size so that he can enter Cyborg's head and kill the virus. Cyborg's erratic behavior and strength make it challenging for Robin to inject a microscopic version of Gizmo, and so instead of going to the head, the virus ends up in Cyborg's butt. Beast Boy blames himself for the situation, and when he volunteers to go inside Cyborg, nobody trusts him. Beast Boy still uses the distractions to transform into an amoeba and get inside. While Gizmo and Beast Boy make it through Cyborg's brain, they get attacked by smaller monsters emerging from the virus. Meanwhile, in the outside world, Cyborg is on the run and closely followed by Raven, Starfire and Robin. The three Titans try to save themselves from becoming Cyborg food, while Gizmo and Beast Boy evade being run over by the viral monsters. Cyborg wrecks the city as he consumes chairs, money, and ATMs. He also infects the equipment in this process. Realizing that this may control all machines in the city, the Titans hurry Gizmo and Beast Boy. The duo also gets chased by the body's red blood cells, and Beast Boy saves Gizmo. Gizmo installs a kill switch that will shut down Cyborg. Meanwhile, Cyborg ends up in a junkyard, from where he notices a huge communication disc and decides to go after it. Gizmo and Beast Boy also enter the head and find a black pixelated virus entwined with the system. A scaredy cat Gizmo runs away as the virus attempts to delete them. Gizmo decides to switch on the bomb, while Beast Boy replicates his amoebic self. This show always maintains a fine line between funny and gross, making it grossly funny. Cyborg overthrows all his friends and keeps going towards the dish, while inside, Beast Boy's strategy works to flood the system, and Cyborg sneezes out the virus and the amoeba colony. Cyborg wakes up with no recollection of what transpired, and although Beast Boy later tries to tell him the story, Cyborg is disgusted by it. Starfire wonders what happened to Gizmo. Unfortunately, Gizmo is still stuck in his shrunken form, fighting against the viral drones in Cyborg's snot left on the dish. Stay tuned to see how Cyborg faces more challenges, courtesy of Brother Blood. That's not all. Even Raven will have to face her darker side and an evil father.
Say, you're not real.
I'm very real.
Haunted. So far, we haven't missed Slade in the 3rd season, but the same cannot be said about Robin as he rummages through a box full of Slade artifacts. The cracked Slade mask from Apprentice Part 2 releases some dust, making Robin cough. Cyborg insists that Slade is dead and asks Robin to get over him. Just then, an alarm takes Teen Titans to the battlefield, where they fight Cinderblock. It starts raining, and Robin lands in a nearby woods, whereas the rest of the Titans take quite a beating before they subdue the villain. Robin encounters Slade, who taunts him and tells him that he is the one who released Cinderblock and has also placed 3 seismic generators across the city so that an earthquake could take it down. Slade vanishes, and the rest of the Titans arrive. Beast Boy catches cold and blames Robin for abandoning them. Despite the heavy rains, Robin sends the team to look for the seismic generators and takes Starfire to look for Slade. The rest of the team has difficulty believing that Slade survived the lava, but still follows the orders. In this extremely dark episode, the only thing that adds humour is how Beast Boy continues to sneeze and involuntarily transforms into various animals. The others do not find any seismic generator, but Robin notices Slade and goes after him. He fights Slade, and when Starfire arrives, Slade passes her by. Robin gets mad at Starfire for not stopping Slade, but she tells him she has not seen anyone. Starfire returns to the others and informs them about everything. On the other hand, Robin goes to Slade's hideout and finds him there. Slade explains that he was using a cloaking device. Robin gets brutally beaten by Slade, and when his friends arrive, they notice Robin in poor condition. Robin becomes furious as they try to explain that Slade is not there. Robin threatens his friends and takes it upon himself to stop Slade. Starfire neutralizes him with a blast, and when Robin wakes up, he finds himself in the T-Tower Infirmary, restrained and strapped to a bed. Robin overhears the others discussing his condition and running tests on him. While Robin is alone, Slade appears. The others notice nothing is wrong with him, but a sudden heart spike alerts them. The Titans find that Robin has escaped through the air vent, and Robin activates the quarantine protocol. While Cyborg and Starfire try to find a way out, Raven uses her powers to look for Robin and infiltrate his mind. The sequence is quite interesting as it hints a little bit about Robin or Dick's past. It shows him with Batman, and even the circus where Dick's parents performed. Raven possesses Robin and becomes his eye, but she gets pushed out by Slade's punch. Raven explains to others that Robin seems to believe Slade is alive, and his hallucination is killing him. As his friend hurries to the basement, Robin continues to fight Slade and tries to accept that Slade is not real. The trick works, as he realizes that Slade is a figment of the darkest corners of his mind. Robin succeeds in making Slade go away, and later, Cyborg reveals it was a chemical reagent in Slade's mask that affected Robin's central nervous system, causing his hallucinations. After Robin leaves, Beast Boy insists on treatment for his cold and even manages to make Raven smile. But it doesn't last long as Cyborg tells them someone activated the reagent from outside. Foreshadowing the next season, the eyes of Slade's broken mask glow red. Spellbound. The episode opens with a warrior wizard fighting with an evil dragon. The purple dragon in this episode is similar to Disney's Maleficent. It turns out Raven is reading the story of how Malchior is fighting the evil dragon Rorik. She gets completely immersed in the story when she is suddenly called to assist the team in defeating a human heart-shaped villain called Cardiac. Raven can hardly spare time defeating the villain. She gets irritated when her friends prevent her from reading, and is most depressed when she overhears Beast Boy calling her creepy. Raven feels alone and feels no one understands her when suddenly the book starts speaking. The voice introduces himself as Malchior, the wizard who is imprisoned in the spells book by Rorik's last curse. Raven tries to free him, but discovers the magic is too powerful. She starts spending her days chatting with Malchior and shutting off her friends. One day, she uses Malchior's instructions to bring him out of the book as he appears like a man made of pages. However, As Malchior is still linked to the spellbook, he starts teaching Raven complicated magic that can eventually help her break his curse. As Raven and Malchior spend more time, they become close, and after a week, she appears in white clothing. White for Raven is a reflection of her happy soul, and she also wears white when she gets free of Trigon's clutches. It appears Beast Boy has snooped on Raven and told the other Titans about her boyfriend. Raven jokingly turns Beast Boy into a rat, showing her growing powers. Cardiac engulfs a little girl, and the others take caution while trying to bring the villain down. Raven arrives last and uses the full force of magic that almost kills the girl with Cardiac. Since Raven cannot stop the others from getting involved in saving the girl, Raven rushes back to the tower and questions Malchior for teaching her dark magic. However, Malchior cunningly explains that dark magic is misunderstood. He urges Raven to break his curse, and it's unsurprising when Malchior turns out evil. The Mal in his name makes it obvious, but the real twist is that Malchior is the dragon and Rorik the wizard. Malchior had altered the name in the book to mislead Raven. As Malchior tries to attack the city, the Titans rush in to stop it. This episode's green and purple theme is traditional for indicating evil in the golden age of comics and for Disney. Raven defeats Malchior by banishing him into a spellbook. A heartbroken Raven's attire turns purple, and Beast Boy apologizes to her. The episode ends with Raven bombing Cyborg while playing with a stank ball. Revolution. It's the 4th of July, and Beast Boy, in his unique way, explains to Starfire how America got its independence. His tea on the Boston Tea Party is one for the history books, and not those you read in school. The celebrations become a disaster when Mad Mod strikes, wanting to change Jump City into a British city. Mod uses the same hypno screen to turn the city's people into British. The Titans attempt to take Mod down, but he uses his stick to obtain Robin's youth, which turns Robin old and Mad Mod young. Mad Mod escapes with an old Robin, while the others find themselves in a British wonderland. The episode references London and British culture, but special homage is paid to the famous boy band The Beatles. Without their leader, the Titans have trouble coming up with a single plan, and the four come up with different plans. Starfire tries to find and rescue Robin, but it turns out to be a hologram. While the Titans try to defeat Mad Mod, Beast Boy again gets hypnotized, and Starfire has to make him laugh to bring him back. However, Beast Boy gets bitten by the British bug and speaks in a British accent. Next, Cyborg tries to combat Mad Mod's gigantic robotic British Royal Guards. This also proves difficult, as the robots are stronger and lot in numbers. Next, the team tries Raven's sneak attack agenda, but Mod seems ahead of their plans. Beast Boy's gerbil commando plan is, of course, ignored. Another comic montage shows the team getting targeted by Mod, and Mod shows the footage to an old and decrepit Robin for sadistic satisfaction. The tired and spent Titans finally retreat to a town hall and realize the truth about the revolution. Realizing they must accept and combine each other's ideas, the Titans enact their final idea. However, the attempt becomes futile when Raven, Starfire, and Cyborg get captured. Beast Boy turns into a parrot and snatches Mod's cane while Cyborg's robot hand helps. This reminds me that the raven that flies in front of Raven in the intro is a cockatoo, which can either be a goof-up or intentionally done for fun. Mod attacks Beast Boy, which makes the cane fall, but Robin catches him and turns himself young. He then breaks the cane, which breaks away all the illusions and mechanizations set by Mad Mod. As Robin hugs his friends, Mod tries to escape, but his old bones cannot take him far. Wavelength. Aqualad comes to visit the Titans to seek their help. He shows them that Brother Blood has built an underwater fortress and a huge sonic resonator, using Cyborg's blueprint. Aqualad's mole in Hive Academy has informed him that Brother Blood plans to use the resonator to cause a tsunami-like tidal wave that will drown the city. Aqualad also tells the team that he tried to fight Brother Blood, but Blood's mind control techniques have stopped Aqualad from using telepathy. Cyborg is enraged to learn that his blueprints are used and seeks revenge, but Robin assigns him the task of shutting down the resonator. The team heads to the ocean for the mission, but Brother Blood is already watching them. He sends out the mind control squid to take down the Titans. The squid succeeds in crushing the T-ship, but Beast Boy turns into a whale and carries his friends in his mouth to save them. Once again, Gross becomes necessary for survival, and Aqualad brings down underwater rocks and crushes the squid. The story for this episode is similar to Tales of the Teen Titans issues number 45 to 47, where Aqualad infiltrated Hive's underwater headquarters. The Titans arrive at the base and are soon attacked by Brother Blood's forces. Cyborg begrudgingly heads to find the sonic resonator, while Starfire, Raven and Robin go after Brother Blood. Aqualad and Beast Boy go ahead to shut down the force field around the sonic resonator. However, Cyborg is soon taken into an empty room and confronted by Brother Blood, appearing on a monitor. He introduces Bumblebee to fight Cyborg, and apparently, she was one of Cyborg's classmates from when he infiltrated Hive Academy. Bumblebee shows several powers that help her beat Cyborg, but when a freak shot damages the large screen, she reveals herself to be Aqualad's spy. Bumblebee, or Karen Beecher, is the first black female superhero for DC Comics, making way for others. In the comics, she possesses no superpowers, but a supersuit. Cyborg and Bumblebee bicker, and we learn that Cyborg has a crush on Jinx. Cyborg gets frustrated by her remarks and shuts her out as he heads to the sonic resonator. On the other hand, the other two groups also get trapped, and Robin calls Cyborg to hurry. With the force field still around, Cyborg cannot attempt to shut it off. Brother Blood appears in person to fight Cyborg and reveals his new costume, which comic readers might recognize as more accurate than the comics. The timer goes off, and the resonator gets activated, creating a tidal wave, while the sound almost bursts Cyborg's ears. Meanwhile, Aqualad and Beast Boy nearly get crushed, while the other three almost drown. Robin manages to rescue the team and remove the defenses, allowing Beast Boy and Aqualad to shut off the force field. Bumblebee also fights Brother Blood, while Cyborg shuts down the resonator and saves the city. Brother Blood escapes, but gets angry at having lost another HQ. Robin decides to go after Brother Blood, but as Dr. Light again attacks the city, the Titans get busy. Aqualad and Bumblebee decide to go after Blood instead, foreshadowing Titans East, while Cyborg chooses to stay with Robin. The Beast Within. The episode begins with the Teen Titans fighting Adonis, a villain wearing a battlesuit like the Transformers. Adonis is arrogant, and the Titans find it difficult to take him down. For a change, Beast Boy gets furious and pins down Adonis with continuous attack. Rage blindsides Beast Boy as he accidentally destroys a tank full of dangerous chemicals that fall all over Adonis and Beast Boy. A striking change in behaviour and attitude could be seen in Beast Boy. He becomes rude, arrogant, and angrier. This also comes with hunger, as he even starts devouring animal products and meat. The personality trait is further characterized by a more animalistic nature, as he suddenly turns into a big ape during a workout or a cat while sleeping. When Beast Boy gets into an argument with Raven, Beast Boy suddenly becomes enraged and turns into a gorilla. Once in his room, he starts destroying his room. Suddenly, Beast Boy starts transforming into a wild animal, and Raven encounters the beast when she tries to eavesdrop. Raven's cry alerts Robin, Cyborg, and Starfire, but they find both Raven and Beast Boy missing from the tower. A werewolf-like beast appears on top of a building, reminding us of a typical werewolf movie premise. The episode pays tribute to classic monster movies, especially featuring werewolves. Meanwhile, the other Titans track Raven down into the sewers, where they find her communicator and Beast Boy's utility belt. As the three search through the tunnels, they finally come across a werewolf-like Beast Boy holding an unconscious Raven. While Raven rests in a trance, Cyborg explains that a genetic compound has gained entry into Beast Boy's body, changing his behaviour. Beast Boy feels guilty and concerned about Raven, but when Robin grills him about the incident, he starts feeling angry and changes into a werebeast. As he approaches Raven, the others stop him from harming her. Beast Boy breaks out of the tower, and Robin takes Cyborg with him to find Beast Boy, while Starfire stays with Raven. This plot relates to one of the storylines from the New Titans issues, number 99 to 130, that featured Beast Boy's darker side, and issues 115 to 116, when evil Raven turned Beast Boy against the team. Again, Robin and Cyborg end up in the sewers. While Raven wakes up, and tells Starfire it's not Beast Boy who attacked her. She further claims that Beast Boy protected her from another werebeast that appeared in T-Tower. Simultaneously, the other werebeast appears behind Robin and Cyborg. As the duo watch, the two werebeasts fight each other. At first, the new werebeast serves thick blows on Beast Boy, but then Beast Boy unleashes his suppressed anger and defeats the monster. Beast Boy changes back to normal, while the other monster appears to be Adonis. It is revealed that Adonis broke into the tower to fight Beast Boy and kidnapped Raven instead. Although Cyborg has administered an antidote to Beast Boy, he apologizes to Raven and worries about the beast within him. Raven assures Beast Boy that it's the beast that saved her. The moment is a win for the Beast Boy Raven shippers until Beast Boy ruins it by coming up with new names for himself. Can I keep him? This story is about pets, and Johnny Rancid has one in the form of a giant robotic dog called Rex. The Teen Titans fight Rex and destroy it into scrap while Johnny gets away. However, real trouble awaits them at T-Tower as the team returns to find their ops room in ruins. Something monstrous has chewed on every bit of the furniture. Robin asks the team to find the culprit while he tracks down Johnny. During the search, Beast Boy takes Starfire away into his room and shows her a mutant larvae called Silky. Although Silky is introduced in this episode, it could be spotted in several earlier episodes of Season 3. It's suspicious that nobody in the tower has noticed it. Beast Boy explains that he got the larva from Killer Moth's place when they raided it to save Robin from a horrible date. Starfire reluctantly agrees but falls in love with it and adopts Silky like a baby. She even feeds Silky Tamaranian Zorka berries. The alien fruit causes Silky to mutate and increase to a massive size. Starfire manages to hide it from Cyborg and Raven, but she quickly discovers that Silky has escaped by burrowing a hole in the floor. As Silky searches for food, it discovers and consumes Cyborg's favourite leg. The truth comes out, and Robin refuses to let Starfire or Beast Boy keep it. A heartbroken Starfire takes Silky to a rocky island, but Silky won't let her go. Starfire uses her energy blasts to get away in a truly heart-wrenching moment. This episode is also a tribute to pet owners and a reminder of why you must not have dangerous pets. The abandoned Silky gets adopted by someone, but who is it? Johnny returns to terrorize the city with his new pet, a giant robotic lizard, Rexzilla. Rancid and Rexzilla get devoured by Silky, who has turned into a moth and is restrained by its new owner, the Killer Moth. This momentary fight between Silky and Rexzilla is a reference to Mothra vs. Godzilla, 1964. A fight ensues between the Teen Titans and Killer Moth, but Starfire is unable to shoot at Silky. She and Killer Moth even get into a verbal tug-of-war as they try to entice Silky. The stress and confusion cause Silky to explode, which releases a ton of body fluid, tasting like Zorka berries. Cyborg's legs and Rancid have also been released. Miraculously, Silky turns back into a larvae, and Starfire finds it. This time, Robin lets her keep it. The story ends with Starfire and Silky devouring Silky's shedded body. Bunny Raven, or How to Make a Titan Animal Disappear. Teen Titans is one of the bravest toons of its decade and has never shied away from the wacky. Although we got bored with this one, it adds some surrealist elements. The episode starts off with Mumbo Jumbo trying to rob a bank when the Teen Titans try to stop him. Mumbo uses his trick to suck in the Titans through his hat, and Raven is the first victim. She gets separated from her friends and ends up as a cute bunny. Mumbo calls Raven his assistant, and Raven discovers that her powers don't work inside the hat. The others look for Raven as they walk through the Mumbo town inside the hat. They finally find Raven, but Mumbo also appears and is quick enough to turn the others into animals. Robin is turned into a monkey, Starfire into a cat, and Cyborg into a tutu-wearing dancing bear. Since Beast Boy already changes into animals, Mumbo faces a hiccup. The quick-witted Mumbo turns Beast Boy into a green lamp. The rest of the Titans also discover that their powers don't work as they should, as Robin's birdarangs turn into bananas, while Starfire shoots hairballs. The episode pays homage to some classic cartoons, and even the Warner Brothers opening. The Titans bicker with each other and try to escape, only to be sent back by magical gloves. Mumbo even performs a song to explain his plans with the Teen Titans, which concludes with making the Titans disappear forever. The song Master of Your Fate is performed by Tome Kenny, who voices Mumbo. Did anyone else find the episode unnecessarily stretched for gags? Or is it just us? During the final show, Mumbo takes the Titan animals individually to perform. The Mumbo audience and Mumbo staff show how self-love should work. Mumbo makes Cyborg dance, while Robin scores a win by shooting bananas in Mumbo's eyes, but he is captured. Mumbo also performs some common magic tricks with the others. At the last moment, Raven gets a stroke of an idea, and she asks Robin to paint themselves so that they can camouflage. Beast Boy's ability to shapeshift into a paintbrush helps. When the Titans are lifted onto the stage, the cages appear empty due to the Titans blending in with the background, and Raven uses the element of surprise to punch Mumbo out of the hat. The trick also allows the Titans to be out, and this time they gain the upper hand as the police arrive and arrest Mumbo. Titans East Part 1. The two-part season finale features the foundation of Titans East, the secondary group of Titans in the series. It begins with Brother Blood coming to Steel City, where he wants to make his new den and wants to get his claws on Cyborg. Blood also controls a villain called Steamroller to do his bidding. Cyborg travels to the same city to help the new team set up. He finds the Titans East Tower in tatters and the team fighting amongst themselves. The team includes Speedy, Aqualad, and Bumblebee, with the new addition of Masi Menos, a Spanish duo with the ability of speed when they are touching. Masi Menos is created for the animated series. Cyborg gets an alert about Steamroller attacking a local mine and leads the team in defeating the villain. In the comics, Aqualad and Speedy are the members of the original Teen Titans. However, this is a ruse by Brother Blood, and during the fight, Steamroller downloads the security key of Titan's East Tower from Cyborg's body. After the battle, Cyborg leads the team in finishing the tower. They decide to celebrate when Robin calls Cyborg and asks him to return, as Professor Chang has escaped from prison. We are not surprised at what happens next, as the Titans East ask Cyborg to stay back as their leader. Cyborg hesitates, and before he can decide, Brother Blood and his army of robots appear inside the tower. Thanks to the data downloaded by Steamroller, the robots are Cyborg knockoffs. The Titans split up to fight the robots but are greatly outnumbered. While Cyborg confronts Brother Blood, the others use several measures to avoid being captured by the robots. In the comics, Aqualad and Speedy are the members of the original Teen Titans and should have been stronger. Brother Blood tells Cyborg that he owed an Hive Academy headquarters, so the tower will be the new base. Elsewhere, the other Titans are captured by the robots. Meanwhile, the battle between Brother Blood and Cyborg rages on as Blood prevents Cyborg from activating the security measures. Blood also attacks Cyborg's core circuit, but Cyborg manages to hit back with a beam. Cyborg also reconfigures and activates the security system, which identifies Blood as an intruder and shoots him out of the tower. Cyborg's power dies out, and when he wakes up after being recharged, he finds the rest of the Titans East team unscathed. Robin again calls, but Cyborg tells Robin his decision to lead the Titans East team and cuts the call. The episode ends with the revelation that the rest of the Titans East are now mind-controlled by Brother Blood. Titans East, Part 2. Despite Cyborg's decision to become the Titans East leader, Robin tries to convince Cyborg to return. This leads to a heated argument and a fallout. The brainwashed Titans East members inform the headmaster of the same, who prepares something sinister with Professor Chang. The next day, the Titans East reveals they are mind-controlled by Cyborg, who tries to call up Robin for backup. However, with the communication line jammed, Cyborg has to fend for himself. He avoids getting caught by the Titans East, but fails, and when Cyborg wakes up, he finds himself bound to an operation table. Brother Blood appears before Cyborg with much satisfaction, as Blood has turned himself half a robot using Cyborg's cybernetic technology. It appears Brother Blood is more of a Cyborg fan. Blood announces his plans to turn Cyborg and the Titans East into more controllable robots, but the original Titans appear to thwart the plan. Speaking of the originals, this series is based on the classic lineup that was featured in Marv Wolfman and George Perez's comics. The only two who are missing here are Kid Flash and Wonder Girl. Wonder Girl could not be used due to an embargo on Wonder Woman characters. This story arc is also about friendship, as Robin reveals that he obtained snippets of Cyborg's call and has come to rescue him. Robin encourages Cyborg to take the lead, as he is most aware of Blood's plans. Cyborg tries to run away from the rogue Titans East, and Bumblebee almost snaps out. Brother Blood further takes Cyborg away to the rooftop and starts beating him. However, Cyborg stands his ground. Meanwhile, Titans East also gets cornered, and Aqualad calls for the headmaster, who sends more robots. Blood himself brutally cuts down each of Cyborg's body parts. This sequence is dark and grim, considering it's a kids' show and everything. Blood also shows Cyborg how the robots have captured all the Titans from the two groups. Driven to his threshold, Cyborg has no way to fight back, but realizes it's the soul that gives him strength to fight. Cyborg regenerates himself from Blood's robot's body parts and defeats Brother Blood, which makes the mind control wear off. The two teams get acquainted, and Masi Menos crushes on Starfire. Ultimately, Cyborg realizes he must stay with Robin's team and encourages Bumblebee to be Titan East's new leader. Season 4, Don't Touch That Dial. A comedic hell lets loose in the first episode of Season 4 when Control Freak pops out on the TV screen of Titan's Tower. Beast Boy is the only one who watches it, and his friends refuse to believe him, blaming him for watching too much TV. They are soon humbled when a news broadcast informs them of Control Freak breaking out of the prison. Teen Titans track Control Freak to Cook's Electronics. The Titans learn that Control Freak has somehow built an oversized remote to turn himself into a broadcast wave, which enables him to exist inside the TV. The Titans get transported to the same dimension and the midst of a reality show called Quiz Monkey. When Starfire correctly answers one of the questions, a car is revealed as her prize, but Control Freak drives it. The Titans follow him and get trapped in myriad situations on different TV channels. They also get separated into different TV channels. The programs featured in this storyline are real TV shows spoofed throughout the episode. This episode is written by David Slack, who got starstruck to meet Will Wheaton, who has voiced Aqualad and is a Star Trek alumnus. Star Trek is again a show that is often referenced in this episode. When the Titans arrive in a swamp-like area in a horror movie, they quickly realize that the fake monsters are very real when they are inside the TV. Control Freak uses his vast TV knowledge to send out different monsters or bad guys after the team, but each gets defeated. Robin is forced to participate in stunt activities, while Cyborg gets entangled in romantic melodrama. Robin gets quashed by football players, while Starfire gets stuck with a pelican looking for a lost hippo. Beast Boy gets a good moment on black and white TV until one of the monsters appears to be hunting him. For us, the best moment is when Raven's incantation, Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos, gets changed into a commercial for a supplement called Zinthos. While the Titans were stuck in aggravating situations, Control Freak used his time to learn several fighting skills. He even bests a spy called Agent 257, which is a reference to 007. At last, it dawns on Beast Boy that he can also use his own knowledge of TV to overthrow the villain. The Teen Titans end up in a program called Clash of the Planets, which you might recognize as a Star Wars spoof. Control Freak declares himself as the 12th level space samurai who is unbeatable. However, Beast Boy uses his own nerd power to imprison Control Freak. It now rests up to Cyborg to take his friends out of the TV, and later we find them lounging in the ops room. The Teen Titans realize that there is no moral lesson emerging from the story, and sometimes you need to embrace the quirks of life. The Quest. The episode opens in Chinatown in Jump City, where Robin catches a martial artist thief called Kataru, stealing a precious golden staff. Robin and Kataru get into a martial arts style combat, demonstrating extreme confidence in their skill. Kataru makes a deal that if he cannot defeat Robin in 3 moves, he will surrender. Kataru wins, making Robin wonder where he learned such exotic skills, and Kataru suggests Robin must seek training from the true master. The next day, Robin packs up his things to travel to the far opposite of the world in search of the true master, and refuses to take anyone along, as everyone discusses that Robin takes himself too seriously. Robin indirectly refers to Batman as his martial arts teacher, but producers avoided featuring the Dark Knight, so that the focus was completely on Robin's heroism and character growth. We too would have appreciated more of Dick's journey as Nightwing, but for the time being, Robin's quest in the far Asian hills is no less impressive. Upon reaching a village, Robin finds an old peasant woman who shows him the mountain path to the master's abode, and asks him to reach before sundown. She also urges Robin to keep away all his belongings and clothing. Robin keeps the mask and starts his journey, but somebody steals his utility belt. Robin arrives at the riverbank, where Robin has to fight and defeat a large talking bear to cross the river. Back in Tea Tower, Starfire misses Robin when she notices Beast Boy wearing Robin's clothes. Beast Boy convinces Starfire to wear Robin's costume as they act as Robin. Robin, having several uniforms hung on his wardrobe, explains why the Teen Titans can never be seen in other clothes. Coming back to Robin, the old woman continues to guide Robin through the mountain path, and he ends up in a cave guarded by a giant blind serpent. As the serpent puts out the light, Robin uses his intuition to win the fight. The serpent then opens the cave doorway for Robin. Back in the tower, Beast Boy and Starfire rope Cyborg and Raven into wearing Robin's costume. On the other hand, Robin comes across a bamboo field guarded by a monkey, and Robin manages to defeat it, completing all the challenges. However, he is stopped by Kataru, who sneakily followed Robin and stole his utility belt. Kataru reveals that he never trained with the true master and has used Robin to clear his own path of obstacles. The old woman encourages Robin to defeat Kataru. Robin uses his knowledge from fighting the three guardians to defeat Kataru. The old woman is also revealed to be the true master, and she shuns Kataru. Robin gifts her with the golden staff, and the two start training. But even the true master notes that Robin takes himself too seriously. It must be something he has picked up from Batman. The trained Robin returns home to find everyone dressed like him and eating pizza, but to their astonishment, Robin simply enjoys the pizza. Birthmark. This episode marks the beginning of the main storyline for the 4th season. It begins with the Teen Titans fighting Dr. Light on top of an oil rig. The Titans beat Dr. Light and decide to party, but Raven refuses to join as she wants to leave before the next day comes. Meanwhile, Slade resurrects from underground. Back at the tower, the Titans throw Raven a surprise birthday party as Beast Boy confesses to snooping around. However, Raven bluntly shuts down the celebration and gets mad. Robin tells Raven that since they now have a psychic connection, Raven should share her troubles. Raven refuses and retreats to her room, where she bids her time for the day to be over. Disaster strikes when Raven tries to meditate, and she gets a vision of Trigon, who reminds Raven of her destiny to open a portal. Trigon was previously shown in the episode Nevermore, but clarity on his identity is still not provided in this episode, and we can expect a more detailed background story later. Raven wakes up with a scream, and Robin rushes to her room, but an alarm sound takes them on a mission. The team is shocked to see Slade back, but Slade has a sigil on his forehead. Slade informs them that he is not after Robin and immediately strikes Raven. The Titans get shocked the second time when Slade uses firepower. Slade gets hold of Raven, and the same sigil now appears on her arm. During the fight, Raven freezes time to save the others, but Slade can still move, and he approaches her to deliver a message. Raven tries to run away and takes Robin with her. Raven tries to explain the situation to Robin, but Slade closes in and Robin asks Raven to run. However, fighting a ghost is not easy. Slade simply cracks his bones and takes down Robin, who gets severely injured. This also foreshadows Slade's turn into Deathstroke. Raven takes Robin to a cathedral to hide and explains how she was born in Azeroth and that something bad was predicted to happen on this day. Slade and Raven face off alone, with Slade pulling at Raven's clothes and revealing several symbols all over her body. Raven's hair also gets longer. Slade succeeds in delivering the message that Raven will be responsible for freeing Trigon. The apocalyptic vision shows the Titans as stone and several demons released into the city. Raven faints, and the symbols on her body disappear. As Slade throws an unconscious Raven off a building, Robin catches her. Afterward, Raven cuts off her long hair, and when the Titans again throw her a party, she agrees to celebrate it. However, the threat of doom is not over as Raven notices the symbols reappear on her palms. Slade also returns to his master Trigon and informs him about what has transpired. Cyborg the Barbarian. Cyborg has transformed the Titan's tower into a high-tech hub full of new, unnecessary gadgets. Cyborg argues that they need upgrades in the face of the future, while Raven's iconic dialogue, "Evil beware, we have waffles," would make you chuckle. The team is skeptical of Cyborg's inventions But they do not expect him to vanish with a stroke of lightning. Cyborg reappears on a battlefield in 3000 BC and notices an army of barbarian warriors fighting off green insectoids. A warrior called Crawl assumes Cyborg as a warrior and asks him to fight. But Cyborg tries not to get involved, but the superhero in Cyborg forces him to join in. Cyborg demonstrates his skills by easily taking down the insectoids. Cyborg earns the tribe's respect and the attention of its female leader, Sarasim. Sarasim names Cyborg as the new champion and presents him with a sword that Crawl previously carried. Sarasim's is also the name of Cyborg's love interest in the comics. However, despite their chemistry, they were not in any romantic relationship. A super annoyed Crawl visits a witch in the middle of the night and blames her for bringing Cyborg from the future. It is revealed that Crawl had woken up the hag so that she could help him become the new champion. Crawl commands the witch to rectify the situation, but wishes come with a price. Cyborg tries to charge his battery by inventing electricity, but it doesn't go his way. Sarasim visits him, and the two get close, but Cyborg tries to convince her that it would not be possible for him to stay in the past permanently. Their moment is ruined when insectoids in the shape of meteorites attack the village. Sarasim leads without armor, and Cyborg joins in. He stops himself from using the sonic blast and finds his power dwindling. However, Cyborg brings down a dam, letting the water flood and dissolve the insectoids. Sarasim and the others rejoice, while Cyborg realizes he is getting emotionally attached. That night, Crawl takes Cyborg to the witch, who opens a portal for Cyborg to return to the Titans. Cyborg realizes that Crawl and the witch are responsible for everything and refuses to leave. Crawl commands the witch to make him stronger, and the witch makes the insectoids cover Crawl, turning him into a slimy monster. A fight ensues between Crawl and Cyborg, which results in Cyborg's battery draining dry, and he drowns in a river. The people save Cyborg, and he wakes up to find that Sarasim and her people have generated electricity to charge him. With 7% battery left, Cyborg wears the armor to gear up for the final war and even confesses his feelings for Sarasim. The two join the war as Crawl and his army enter the fortress. However, the story meets an unconventional end when Raven's spirit hand takes Cyborg back to the present. The portal closes, and Cyborg feels devastated as he can't help the tribe or say goodbye. Raven appeases him by showing a history book that tells the story of how Sarasim won the war. He even finds a picture of him drawn without the armor. Employee of the Month. A UFO hovers over a farm to steal cows when suddenly the Teen Titans shed their disguise and attempt to take it down. Cyborg hangs onto the UFO as the others follow it, and the ship flies towards the city. Cyborg punches the UFO, but it throws him across a building and vanishes. The team ends up in front of a food joint called Mega Meaty Meat, and Cyborg is the only one who is interested in trying it out. On the other hand, Beast Boy gets frustrated with always running around and fawns over the advertisement of Moped. Robin refuses to spare funds to buy one, while Cyborg refuses to build him one. As Beast Boy rants about it in front of Raven, she suggests he get a job and buy it himself. Beast Boy tries his hands at jobs like video game tester, door-to-door salesman, and even clown, but everything blows up in his face. Despite his aversion to meat, Beast Boy finally seeks employment at Mega Meaty Meat, where a manager called Bob hires him and promises that the Employee of the Month will win the Tidwell 3000 moped that Beast Boy desires. However, there's a catch. Bob seems weird and keeps calling Beast Boy by different names. But that's not all, as a sneak peek inside shows Bob's hands melting to form into food. Beast Boy's love for mopeds is hinted at in earlier episodes, but what's truly mind-boggling is the absurdity of the story. When the other Titans visit Beast Boy, they find it odd that he is the only employee. The team leaves when they get an alert about the alien ship, but Beast Boy has to stay back so that he is not fired. The Titans manage to crack the UFO and find a cow inside. Cyborg discovers that the cow is from Earth and is powering the UFO. As they wonder about the hidden pilots, a host of UFOs appears. Beast Boy also faces a similar challenge as he encounters an army of hungry customers with a shortage of food and staff. He ventures inside to seek Bob's help and discovers that the restaurant is the source of the UFOs. It is powered by Earth cows, and an alien conqueror called the Source in the shape of a living tofu runs the operations. The Source creates Bob clones called Newfu out of its own body, which again turns into food. The Source also informs Beast Boy that it will blow up Earth once it has collected all the cows. Beast Boy fights the Bobs, kidnaps the Source, and takes the moped to Titan's tower. Beast Boy's look in the episode is similar to Haruko from the anime FLCL 2000. He also threatens to eat up the alien boss to make him reveal the way the Newfus and the destruction machine can be stopped. Beast Boy takes several trips to rescue the cows and bring them to the tower, while he uses water to turn the Bobs into tofus. At last, Beast Boy sums up the courage to shut down the machine. Beast Boy shares everything with his team while the moped runs out of life. Cyborg also mistakenly consumes the Source, putting an end to the horror. Troke. This episode is epic since it serves a social message, but we will get onto that later. An alien spaceship enters Earth, chased by two white bat-like ships. The pilot in the main ship has some resemblance to Captain Atom, but rest assured, Valor is nothing like him. As the Titans notice him and watch in bewilderment, Valor takes down his pursuers and emerges from fire with much heroic supremacy. He gets acquainted with everyone and recognizes Starfire as a Tamaranian. Valor tells the impressed Titans how he is fighting an alien race called Locrix. The Locrix wants to control the galaxy, and while Valor has saved his own planet of Vernathia, his mission is to take down the race by destroying the power core of Locrix's home plant, Sentian. The Titans volunteer to accompany Valor in their mission, and he even lets them fly his ship, except for Starfire, whom he ignores. When the Locrixes attack their ship, Valor asks Cyborg to pilot it while he takes the others to fight. As Valor appreciates the other kids, they seem to ignore his patronizing attitude and his rudeness towards Starfire. When Starfire apologizes to him for a freak accident, Valor calls her a trock. A disheartened Starfire starts maintaining distance as Valor briefs everyone about their next activity. He even orders Starfire to perform the dangerous task of removing mines from the minefield that is guarding Sentian. As Valor continues to call Starfire trock, Cyborg asks her what it means, and she replies, "It's nothing." Despite the risk and warning, Starfire succeeds in the task, but when one of the mines gets accidentally activated, she takes it far away before detonation. The episode reveals that Tamaranians can travel in space without any suit and can also withstand harsh environments. Starfire returns to the ship, and when Cyborg jokingly calls her trock, Starfire gets angry and explains that it's a derogatory term that means that Tamaranians are useless. As Starfire realizes Cyborg knows the feeling, it's a subtle hint of his African-American heritage. Cyborg tells Robin about it, but Starfire requests Robin not to retaliate. Starfire stands up for herself, and despite Valor's insulting remarks, she accompanies him as he carries the Eradicator to the central power core. Valor succeeds in placing it, but treats Starfire more degradingly until he gets trapped in an electric energy field. Valor demonstrates an extreme level of racism as he orders Starfire not to touch him, but she still rescues him. The Titans take the injured Valor to Titan's tower, and although he apologizes to Starfire, it still doesn't sound genuine. Robin asks Valor to leave, who calls the Earthlings trock to reveal that he has learned nothing. With Starfire's ending speech, a message is shared about how to treat racists. The prophecy. The Teen Titans are concerned about Slade's next plans and try to find what the mark on his forehead means. Raven also gets visions of a dark, apocalyptic future as Trigon reminds her what she is born to do. An alert on Slade takes the Teen Titans to an abandoned section of the city, which is up for demolition. Once again, the fight against the demonic Slade seems impossible for the Titans to win. Robin confronts Slade about the symbol on his forehead, and Slade mentions that it's the mark of Scath. As they get separated during the fight, Raven asks Slade not to involve her friends, but he threatens Raven that if she doesn't tell the truth, he will. Blink, and you'll miss one of the buildings in this scene, which is the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange's abode in Marvel Comics. After Slade vanishes, Starfire notices that Slade's mindless destruction of the abandoned area was to form a large mark of scath. The Titans notice a library building still standing. Part of the building falls to display the mark of scath, and Raven tries to deter her friends from entering, but they simply ignore her. Once inside, the mark of scath starts appearing on Raven's forehead, with other runes all over her body. This opens secret doorways leading the Teen Titans in. As they venture deeper into the library, Raven refuses to be a part of it and flees. Ghostly statues chant a prophecy and speak of a gem that will end the human world. The Titans find another chamber, leading to a long spiral staircase, but as they try to climb down it, the team gets attacked by an army of ghost warriors. In the meantime, Raven returns to her room and uses incantation to teleport. She gets engulfed by fire as she tries to reach Azareth. Back in the library, Robin guides his team to find another portal. Upon entering the final chamber, the Titans find it modelled after Raven and notice the missing gem. Slade again appears to them and almost finishes off the team. The theme of demons and hell is well presented, and the season finale is a personal favourite. Raven finally makes it to the city and meets her beautiful mother, Arella, who informs her that, just like Azareth, it's already too late for Earth. Raven and Angela Roth, aka Arella's story, appears in The New Titans, Volume 1, issues number 1 to 6. Raven returns to help her friends win the war against Slade. Raven beats Slade, who escapes, and now she confesses her story to her friends. Raven explains that she is Trigon the Terrible's daughter and is the gem or the portal that will bring Trigon back to Earth. As Raven blames herself for the possible end of Earth, her friends stand by her, willing to try to change her destiny. Back in the pits of hell, Trigon seems satisfied with Slade and promises to give him what he lost in exchange for more good work. Stranded, Teen Titans arrive at a space station and find it wrecked. Cyborg fixes it within a minute, but they get attacked by a deadly space monster with a killer shriek. The Teen Titans' attacks don't seem to work. At last, Robin and Starfire trick the monster into falling into a tank with pink fluid. Cyborg teases Robin by calling Starfire his girlfriend, but Robin gets embarrassed and denies it, making Starfire sad and confused. A flustered Robin getting verbally attacked is the real highlight of the episode. Unfortunately for Robin, the monster comes up the tank, leaving him no opportunity to clarify. The Titans rush off to the T-ship and take off, but the creature latches onto the spaceship and damages it. Robin tries to shake it off and instructs others not to separate, but disturbances in the signal misrepresent his instructions, and the other Titans split up with their pods. Each one crashes onto the same planet, but on different sides. Robin comes out of his damaged pod and searches for the others when he gets attacked by a slimy creature. He struggles to get rid of its jelly-like stuff until Starfire arrives and shoots the creature with an arrow. Robin realizes Starfire is still upset with him for the rash comment. Meanwhile, Beast Boy finds a cyborg leg and assumes that he is dead. Beast Boy confesses that Cyborg is his best friend, only to find that Cyborg is alive, but his body parts are scattered everywhere. Raven finds herself surrounded by friendly, egg-like creatures the size of a thumb. The creatures not only follow her, but repeat whatever Raven says. Before moving on, let us tell you that the theme song of this show was the most watched video on the Warner Bros. Classics YouTube channel in 2024, and we confess that we sang it along during every watch. As the Titans search the planet, each stranded group faces a different challenge. Beast Boy struggles with understanding Cyborg's scientific jargon. He even assembles Cyborg in extremely weird formations until Cyborg has to dumb down the instructions. Cyborg also takes up the insane task of guiding Beast Boy in repairing the T-ship. Robin and Starfire get into a disaster as they try to cross a volcanic area, and suddenly, Starfire notices she cannot fly. Robin rescues Starfire, who shares that her powers are linked to emotions, and since she is sad and confused, they do not work. Robin confesses he is not good at sharing his feelings. Now, this is something Robin must have taken from Batman. Robin shares what he likes about Starfire, but again, they are interrupted when the monster from the Space Communications Center reappears. Robin and Starfire reenact their strategy to lure the monster into a ravine. As it falls towards the ravine, Starfire and Robin fly out, hug, and reconcile. Beast Boy and Cyborg appear with a repaired T-ship at the same time. Cyborg even finds his missing palms. They worry about Raven, who is enjoying the time of her life as she gets treated like a queen by the little creatures. Overdrive. Cyborg is one of those who always enthusiastically goes on with their daily life. Cyborg has his daily chores scheduled, like eating breakfast, training, beating Beast Boy in video games, waxing his car, shooting hoops with Robin, lunch, lifting weights with Starfire, and playing chess unsuccessfully with Raven. However, Cyborg wishes he could do more with his time, and the advertisement of an enhancement chip produced by Star Labs called Maximum 7 intrigues him. Star Labs has been a common factor in several DC comics. More often than not, they were responsible for accidents. The next day, Cyborg gets a delivery of the chip, and without properly reading the manuals, Cyborg inserts it in his head. During a showdown with Adonis, Cyborg doesn't let his teammates drop a sweat and easily takes down the villain. The chip doubles Cyborg's energy as he rushes through the activities and even beats Robin and Raven in their games. However, the real challenge arises when the team faces a new villain called Billy Numerous. Billy has the power to multiply, and the Titans remain outmatched by his power since there are just too many to fight. The exhausted Titans return home, except for Cyborg, who stays behind to find Numerous. To maximize the power of Max 7, Cyborg starts switching off the humane sides like sleep and recreation. Drug addiction is the metaphor that the creative tried to sell through this story. There is also an anti-drug commercial tied with the anti-drug comic issues featuring the new Teen Titans. However, due to licensing issues, the new Teen Titans replaced Robin with a character called Protector. Despite the efforts, Cyborg has trouble locating the real Billy Numerous, and although he follows Billy across town, he fails to catch him every time. The next morning, the Teen Titans are surprised that Cyborg's behavior and voice are like a robot. As Cyborg tracks Billy Numerous, the Teen Titans remain dismal about the changes in Cyborg. Billy Numerous pulls the most ridiculous heist of stealing the Bay Bridge, bringing the traffic to a halt. He steals gold from banks, elephants, and whatever else he likes. Cyborg and the Teen Titans arrive at the scene, and Cyborg charges Billy with a full power-up. However, it causes Cyborg's system to short-circuit, and he crashes onto the ground. When Cyborg wakes up, the rest of the team explains that it got overloaded due to Cyborg focusing all his power on Max 7. The Teen Titans strike Billy Numerous at his lair in an old stadium. The Titans miraculously multiply in number and confuse Billy, who forces himself to create more replicas of himself. The Titans surely learned a lesson as they now drive Billy to overdrive, and he struggles with cloning himself any further. As a result, all the clones get reabsorbed into Billy's real body, incapacitating him. It is revealed that the Titans used holograms, but making Cyborg take a rest and sleep might still be a challenge. Mother May I. The Teen Titans wake up in the ops room of the Titans Tower, and all are hungry for pie. A sweet, old, bubbly lady called Mother May I gives them the pie and turns the tower into a magical gingerbread house filled with sugar and spice. May I treats the Teen Titans as kids who love Mother May I. May I forcibly takes care of the Titans but shows affection. Something is off, but the Titans seem oblivious. When the tower suddenly gets an alert, May I stops the Titans from leaving, but when they insist on going for the mission, May I dresses up the Titans in ridiculous children's clothes before taking them to the mall in her car. Raven in a frock is a sight that's hard to shake off, while Robin's new hairstyle is a reminiscence of his looks from the 40s and 60s comics. The mall is under attack from the Hive 5, which includes Gizmo, Mammoth, and Jinx, with the addition of Seymour and Private Hive. The Hive members laugh at the Teen Titans and even subdue them as the childish clothes and lack of tools handicap the Titans. Mother May I comes to the rescue of the Titans and beats the Hive 5. The altercation leads to Starfire getting bumped on her head, removing May I's control over her. Although it's a funny episode before the dark finale, it doesn't have a Japanese intro. May I's control over the Titans is characterized by pink glowing eyes, and a disillusioned Starfire notices the real ugly face of the hag-like witch. May I is a witch who feeds on the love the Titans profess. The episode borrows stark storylines from children's fairy tales, as the witch intends to bake the Titans into a giant pie to get all the affection. She tucks the Titans on a large baking plate apart and puts them in an oven. Starfire pretends to be under the enchantment, and when May-I is distracted, she reveals the truth to her friends. This doesn't work, as they are still under a spell, and May-I catches Starfire. As May-I tries to force-feed pie to Starfire, she pretends to eat it, and when May-I leaves, she rescues her friends from the oven. Starfire knocks on the heads of her friends, removing the enchantments from their eyes. The Teen Titans fight the gingerbread armies of the witch and even trap her back into a pie. The truth is uncovered, and it appears that Cyborg was duped by the witch, who dressed up as a gypsy and sold him the pie. Since disposing of the pie could be a problem, Robin decides to anonymously send the pie to the Hive 5. The End, Part 1. It's the end of the world as Trigon tasks Slade with bringing Raven to him. Raven wakes up with symbols glowing all over her body and enjoys the last sun. Raven cooks breakfast for her friends and suggests hanging out, but Plasmus, wrecking through the city, takes the Titans out. After defeating Plasmus, Raven suggests going for pizza and just enjoys watching her friends. Later, they take a walk across the path, and Beast Boy finds a lucky coin. However, everyone notices that Raven is acting out of character, and to answer their doubts, an unforeseen eclipse covers the sky. The episode is inspired by the Terra of Trigon in The New Teen Titans Volume 2, issues number 1 to 5. The symbols on Raven reappear and she faints. The Titans take her back to the tower and a confinement chamber built to protect Raven from Trigon. Raven warns that the chamber will be insignificant as Trigon will still reach her, but Robin assures her they will watch from outside while Beast Boy hands her the coin for luck. Meanwhile, Slade reminds Trigon of their deal and reward. You have to wait a little bit longer for that. For now, Slade leads an army of fire demons to get Raven out of the tower. As Raven meditates, Trigon psychically connects with her and makes her realize it's futile to resist. Simultaneously, Slade arrives outside the tower with the army of fire demons, and the Titans come out to fight him. The ensuing fierce battle doesn't go the Titans' way. Cyborg uses all his energy and the tower's power to blast off Slade and his army. The Titans watch in horror as the blast does nothing to the evil army. On the other hand, Trigon continues tormenting Raven and convinces her to join him as he tells her she is responsible for her friend's condition. Raven's sacrifice for her friends is similar to what she did in The New Teen Titans, Volume 1, issue number 5, where Raven promised to serve Trigon so that he could spare Earth. In this episode, Raven comes out of the tower and uses her power to knock out her friends as she leaves with Slade and the army. While going to the library, Raven mocks Slade and tells him that Trigon has only used him as a pawn and will not keep the end of the bargain. Raven also orders the demons to capture Slade. The other Titans also wake up and track Raven. Slade now demands his payment, but Trigon refuses as he is the one who convinced Raven. Slade attacks Trigon, who takes Slade's powers away and blasts him off. The Titans also arrive on time and ask Raven to stop, but she doesn't listen. The episode ends with a cliffhanger as Raven opens the portal and Trigon emerges in his true form. The End, Part 2. Raven, turning into a portal, releases a giant demonic Trigon. Trigon wastes no time laying waste to Earth, and Robin wakes up only to find every human turned to stone. A raven lures him to the top of a building where he meets the other Titans, except Raven. Robin realizes that Raven saved their life when she knocked them out. As the Titans join hands, they realize that Raven has left some of her powers in each of them. The 14 Titans foolishly attack Trigon as he sits on his throne, and his strength grows. Trigon is made meaner and scarier in this season, which makes sense since this is his actual outing. The four also unleash their wrath and use it to channel Raven's power. However, it has a negligible impact on Trigon, who blasts them off. The Titans end up in the same library where they encounter Slade. Although the Titans are ready to fight, Slade informs them that he is not here to fight. Slade promises to take one of them to find a part of Raven who has survived, and Robin volunteers. Slade also hands Starfire the Ring of Azar, which had protected Slade from Trigon's power. As Starfire, Beast Boy and Cyborg go to distract Trigon, Slade and Robin make their way through the spiral staircase that can take them to another dimension. Slade is often an ally to the Titans in the New Titans comics, especially in issues number 72 to 84. However, something like this is most unlikely to occur here. Trigon gets annoyed by the attacks and notices that they have protection. Trigon releases the inner demons of the three Titans. Fighting their own evil self proves challenging for the Titans, while Robin and Slade also encounter the fire demons. The duo fights with outstanding synchronization and takes down the demons. However, Slade's mask accidentally falls off, revealing his skeleton face. When Robin forces Slade to reveal his secrets, Slade informs him that he almost died due to Terra's attack and that his skin wore off due to the lava. The Ring of Azar protected Slade, and Trigon appointed him as the general of his enemy. Outside, the Titans can barely keep up with the Neger versions, but still manage to get a few upper hands. Slade and Robin also reach the crossroads, and Slade explains that he wants his flesh and body back and ushers Robin to another route. Robin enters a church-like place and notices someone running around. When Robin catches the person, it turns out to be a younger raven in white clothes who cannot recognize him.
But you were never my father.
The end. Part 3. The third and final segment begins with Starfire, Beast Boy and Cyborg fighting their evil selves and entertaining Trigon. Meanwhile, Little Raven runs away from Robin as she is not able to trust him, but Robin still pursues her. He manages to convince Little Raven that he is her old friend and is there to help her. Slade also fights with the Guard of Hell. Slade has got nothing to lose and succeeds in defeating the Guard. As Slade blasts open the door with a bomb, several white lights shoot out and Slade gets his flesh and blood back. He picks up the Guard's fiery axe and leaves. Robin also gives Little Raven a piggyback ride as he tells her the story of his friend Raven. The sweet moment highlighted a sibling-like relationship, but fans often wanted a pairing. This happened in New Teen Titans issues 36-30, but nothing came of it, as Raven was the one to misconstrue the different types of love. Returning to our story, the fire demons attack them and Little Raven almost falls into the lava, but Robin saves her. Raven confesses to remembering snippets, and Robin assures her he will take Raven outside. The three Titans endure all the beating to distract Trigon. However, their plan is overheard by Negative Starfire, who tells Trigon about it, and Trigon reveals that he is already aware of it. Trigon blows off the Titans, and they realize that since they cannot defeat their own demons, they should defeat each other. The plan works, and Trigon sends his fire demons after the Titans. Robin and Raven arrive, and Robin helps his teammates fight the demons. Slade also appears and helps the Titans in fighting Trigon. They land some punches and even hurt Trigon, which amazes Little Raven. When Trigon gets furious and blows off the Titans, Raven comes to them and uses her new white power to defeat Trigon. Raven retaliates that Trigon was never a father to her and shows that her powers are no longer linked to him. She suddenly turns to the older Raven with longer hair as she finishes off Trigon and brings the Earth back to normal. It is also safe to assume that the minions Trigon had sent to capture the galaxy are disposed of. Raven hugs Robin for having hope in her, while Beast Boy finds Raven odd. However, as she refuses to laugh at Beast Boy's joke, he realizes it's her and hugs her back. Later, Titans party at the tower, but Raven returns to her old look. She discusses fighting Slade if he returns, but Robin is prepared for all. Season 5, Homecoming. Part 1. The final season introduces the Doom Patrol as they fight the Brotherhood of Evil members Brain and Monsieur Mallah. The Brotherhood of Evil activates a quantum generator that starts to form a black hole and immobilizes the heroes except for Beast Boy. Despite the instructions of his leader, Mento, Beast Boy saves his team rather than destroying the generator. While Negative Man stops the generator and stops the black hole, the villains get away, and Mento reprimands Beast Boy for not following orders. This is the debut of the Doom Patrol in the animated world, which also includes Robot Man and Elastigirl. Years later, in the present, a probe enters the Titan's tower and Beast Boy realizes it's a call for him. A video message from Mento seeks Beast Boy's help, and the team heads out to the Amazons to answer the distress call. The team comes across the wreckage of Doom Patrol's aircraft and a lifeless Robot Man. Cyborg repairs Robot Man, who runs to look for his team without any introduction. He destroys a hideout and its defense system before the Titans inform Robot Man that he has been lifeless for over 5 months. Robot Man treats Beast Boy and his team like kids, clearly unaware of their prowess against different kinds of evil. Instead, Robot Man acts foolishly as he rampages on a tanker, cutting the trees. Beast Boy shows great maturity throughout the episode and forces Robot Man to follow the Titan's way of doing things. They follow the tanks and reach the actual lair of the Brotherhood of Evil. Brain and his loyal talking gorilla, Monsieur Mallah, have captured and confined the rest of the Doom Patrol. A Justice League crossover was also proposed for the series but could not be executed. Speedy did a cameo in Justice League Unlimited instead. The Brotherhood Evil has now built a quantum particle battery that they plan to use for something sinister and dangerous. As Brain starts torturing the captured, the Teen Titans and Robot Man break into the lair. They get into an elaborate fight as the Teen Titans help the Doom Patrol get free. Mento also gets a sneak peek into Brain's plans and gets terrified, while Beast Boy gets knocked out by a laser. He wakes up to find both teams of heroes restrained in a force field that can kill them, while Brain and Monsieur Mallah get inside a rocket to escape with the quantum particle. Mento orders Beast Boy to go after the villains while the Titans seek help. Beast Boy gets bamboozled by a dilemma. He still chooses to save lives instead of going after the criminals. The thankless Mento again rebukes Beast Boy and blames him for unleashing a horror that will bring the destruction of Earth. Homecoming, Part 2. Doom Patrol declares they are the only ones qualified to take on the Brotherhood of Evil, and Mento orders Beast Boy to join in. Robin is adamant that if Beast Boy goes, the Titans will follow. As the two teams argue, Beast Boy yells at them and agrees to go with the Doom Patrol alone. However, when they get trapped in quicksand, Beast Boy thinks of calling his friends. Mento prohibits Beast Boy from contacting the Titans. When a large metallic robot attacks the group, Robot Man volunteers to take it down. Doom Patrol doesn't have the typical retro-themed Silver Age DC style, so everyone, including Beast Boy, wears a black and purple costume instead of the red and white. Mento refuses to waste any time and asks the rest of the team to head on. Next, the group gets trapped in magnetic mines, and Negative Man takes the role of taking the mines elsewhere. This drains the spirit of Negative Man as he can barely reach his body in time. Elastigirl also falls under a rock as she saves Beast Boy and Mento from getting crushed. As Mento stops Beast Boy from going back for Elastigirl, he tries to contact the Titans, but the arrogant leader destroys Beast Boy's communicator. Although we got frustrated with the Doom Patrol's patronizing behavior, it does serve the purpose of showing how odd they are. Beast Boy gets furious and gives Mento a piece of his mind, making Mento realize that his stubbornness and hot-headedness are taking them nowhere. The 5th season was supposed to be 20 episodes, with Slade teaming up with the Brotherhood. A shortage of time made the producers abandon the plan. Moving on, Mento finally realizes his mistake and listens to Beast Boy as the duo breaks into the Brotherhood of Evil's new facility. They fight Madame Rouge and Monsieur Mallah until they get surrounded by General Immortus and his robot armies. Mento covers Beast Boy as he charges up to the Quantum Generator's console, and the rest of the Doom Patrol and Teen Titans also arrive. The heroes kill all the robots, but Mallah catches Beast Boy and shows them how they will now blow up T-Tower with Jump City. The Titans and Doom Patrol get enraged and fight together to take down the villains, while Beast Boy manages to change the coordinates of the generator so that it now targets the lair. As the generator gets activated, the heroes and villains escape. Mento shares his gratitude for the Titans and promises to seek their help in the future. Elastigirl also reveals Beast Boy's name as Garfield, and Raven finally gets something to make fun of. However, things don't look all sunshine for our heroes, as Brain identifies the Teen Titans as a greater threat and assembles all the Teen Titan villains to join the Brotherhood. This season will take more than 5 Titans and the team to the far ends of the world. Let's find out what happens when a speedster is in town, or when Robin's personal briefcase is up for grabs. Trust. Wildebeest gets chased by Madame Rouge as he tries to contact Robin through the communicator. You might remember Robin giving everyone a Titan communicator as an honorary member for defeating Master of Games. Madame Rouge catches up to Wildebeest, but the communicator falls and crashes. Later, Brain and Mallah play chess in Paris, discussing their move to capture all of the Titans' allies. They instruct Madame Rouge not to capture Hotspot, but to get his communicator, which can help them spy on the Titans. Titans. Rouge is in Morocco and notices Hotspot trying to catch a thief. She introduces herself to Hotspot and makes sure he is alone. Madame Rouge and Hotspot fight, but Rouge quickly understands she cannot touch him as he will burn her off. Madame Rouge appears as Robin to Hotspot and asks him to hand over the communicator. Hotspot claims to like being an honorary member and refuses to give it up. Since the heat is making Madame Rouge melt, she asks Hotspot to turn down his power, but once again, he refuses. Madame Rouge makes several slip-ups, like calling Starfire as Firestar, but Hotspot still fails to spot her as an imposter. If the name sounds familiar, it's because Firestar appears in Marvel Comics. On the other hand, the real Robin and Starfire look for Wild Beast and finds the broken communicator. They realize something terrible must have happened, and Robin instructs Starfire to get the others while he looks for Wildebeest. Meanwhile, Rouge leads Hotspot to an oil field in Morocco and asks him to tone down the fire, but Hotspot refuses. Rouge also tricks Hotspot into believing that Robin got caught by Rouge, but nothing seems to work. As Robin, Rouge asks Hotspot to tone down as it makes him traceable. However, just as Hotspot appears in his normal self, Rouge reveals herself and knocks out Hotspot. She calls the real Robin in Hotspot's voice and asks him to visit. Real Hotspot also escapes Rouge's clutches and destroys the communicator. As Hotspot runs away, he encounters the real Robin, who has finally reached the location. Hotspot is based on another superhero called Johto, who appears in the comics. Titans also defeated an evil wildebeest society and raised a baby wildebeest in the comics. Hotspot faces the real challenge of finding the real Robin. The firepower of Hotspot reveals the truth, but Rouge still manages to keep up as Robin. The Robins fight, and Hotspot finally takes down Rouge. However, Rouge's serpentine hand still comes up. Rouge's confidence and ability are admirable as something unthinkable happens in the story. The bad guy wins. As Robin and Hotspot share a goodbye, Robin gives another communicator to Hotspot so they can regularly update each other. If you still haven't guessed now, the Hotspot before Robin turns out to be Rouge. Real Control Freak is back on Titans Tower's TV screen and ready to take on the Teen Titans with the newest, more specialized challenges. Unfortunately, the Teen Titans are not at home as they are currently making worldwide reinforcements against the Brotherhood of Evil, so they have asked Titans East to look after the Tower and Jump City. Control Freak decides to wait for the Titans, while the Titans East arrives at the Tower and gets astounded by it. Control Freak refuses to accept them as the real Titans, while Titans East also disappoints Control Freak as his name doesn't appear in the most notorious villain list. Control Freak still tries to use his new inventions on Titans East, but fails. However, we are thankful to Control Freak for using a translator button on Mas y Menos. A frustrated Control Freak leaves while the Titans East tidies up the tower, and Bumblebee stops Aqualad from informing Cyborg. The Titan East gets an alert about a burglary and effortlessly catches Andre LeBlanc from robbing a bank. Each team member performs excellently in saving people and stopping crime, but they are either mistaken as the Teen Titans or are simply unrecognized. Control Freak and other nerds also discuss each team member on the web, which makes Control Freak come up with a challenge. The Titans East were rather down with the misrepresentation, but surely people should not be blamed for mistaking Speedy with Robin. As the Titans East accepts the challenge, Control Freak informs them that it will be broadcast all over the city. You can also see Punk Rocket, the villain from the Lost episode, appear in the prison with Andre as they watch the challenge. The Lost episode was mainly made for promotion and released online. It later appeared on the Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo DVD. Coming to the challenges, Bumblebee has to stop a train from blowing up while she remains restricted to a small size. Aqualad has to prevent polluted water from flowing into the city's water supply while he fights a mechanical shark. Mas y Menos has to stop a bomb by pressing two buttons simultaneously at opposing ends, and Speedy has to stop a barrage of missiles without his arrows. The Titan East succeeds in each challenge, forcing Control Freak to appear publicly. Control Freak is already established as a fan of the Titans, and it is also canon that Control Freak rebooted the Teen Titans into the Teen Titans Go animated series. Titans East catches Control Freak, who gets imprisoned but promises to return. Cyborg informs Bumblebee that they might take longer to return, and Titans East might also stick longer in the city. Snow Blind. Somewhere in northern Russia, a man rescues a bear caught in a trap. but gets surrounded by the hunters. As the hunters try to attack the man, he asks them to stay away and starts glowing red until he blows up like a bomb. The Teen Titans arrive at a nearby town after getting a distress signal and find people taking shelter. An old man called General Raskoff explains that an abomination is responsible for the town's destruction. The Teen Titans head out in their T-ship to find the source of the trouble, which appears in the form of another red energy blast. The T-ship malfunctions and crashes on the snow as a blizzard engulfs our heroes. With her black magical dome, Raven gives them a temporary shelter, but the creature in question shatters it. Cyborg reads dangerous radiation levels, and Starfire volunteers to pursue the outcast, despite Robin's protest. Even though Tamaranians can withstand almost anything, the snow and cold almost freeze Starfire until she gets rescued by someone. Starfire wakes up to find she is in the abode of the outcast, who has confined himself in a room. The man called Red Star informs her that it is to protect others from radiation, and when Starfire tells him that she won't be affected, he lets her in. The others, and especially Robin, worry about Starfire, while Beast Boy can hardly withstand the cold. They track another signal of radiation and find a pool of green radioactive isotopes formed in the snow as it leaked from somewhere up the hill. Robin leads the team in finding the source. Meanwhile, Red Star feeds Starfire but still worries about her friends. Starfire even seeks Red Star's help, but refuses out of fear of causing more damage. It becomes clear that Red Star is not responsible for the recent Terra and is not the one the townspeople should fear. Luckily, the team arrives just as Starfire prepares to confront the creature. When Robin probes Red Star about why he is misunderstood, Red Star tells how he was a lanky soldier chosen for an experiment. The experiment conducted by the evil Professor Change turned him into the perfect super soldier, but not without any side effects. The story is extremely similar to the origin of Marvel's Captain America, except for the deadly side effect. It causes the Red Star to glow red and blow up with radiation. Red Star also glows red when he becomes angry and agitated. He shows the Titans how he needs to discharge the power to prevent disasters and why he must isolate. They get suddenly interrupted by a loud explosion. As the creature enters Red Star's home, Red Star punches it to save the Titans, while it consumes the energy radiation of Red Star and leaves. Robin explains that a leak in his storage has created the energy monster. Red Star shows the Titans the snow mobiles he has built, which they take to reach the town and protect it, while Robin gives Red Star a communicator. At first, the people get wary of Red Star and blame him, but Red Star reconciles with General Raskoff and goes on his way to fight the monster. Red Star destroys the monster with the help of the Titans, but as he reaches critical mass, Starfire takes him to space, where he explodes like a planet. Starfire returns to Earth as everyone in the town watches the explosion with gratitude. Starfire believes Red Star will surely make a comeback. Cole. Dr. Light plans to use a crystal to harness the northern lights and power himself up. He has the machine fixed and is happy that no one will be able to catch him here. But to his utter dismay, the Teen Titans arrive. So far, beating Dr. Light was a piece of cake, especially for Raven, but this time he has powered up and might be a bit overconfident. However, his fight with the Titans causes a crack in the ground, and ice shifts below his feet, taking him down. The same also happens with the Titans as the ice breaks, and they slide through the trenches and fall deep underground. It's a common trope used in most cartoons, where the heroes land in a primitive world just near the core of the Earth. Similarly, the Titans come across dinosaurs who are ready to eat them. The team gets saved by a savage Neanderthal man called Gaynark and a little girl called Cole, who can turn into a crystal. Gaynark uses Cole as a club to beat the dinosaurs. The Titans inquire Cole about Dr. Light, but she claims not to notice him, while Gaynark's vocabulary is limited to repeating his name over. Cole invites the Titans for dinner, whereas Dr. Light demonstrates the ability to go invisible as he spies on the group and plans to kidnap Cole. Gaynark appears afraid of modern technologies and anything from the upper world. He even gets into an eating competition with Cyborg, but when Cyborg wins, Gaynark gets upset and leaves. Gaynark is paired with Lilith Clay in the comics. Cole's powers are also slightly different in the comics, where she can create crystals. Cole follows Gaynark and promises to live with him in the underground, but Dr. Light captures her. Dr. Light confines Cole in a force field ball while his weapons and gadgets scare Gaynark. Dr. Light creates another force field wall, stopping Gaynark and the Teen Titans from following him. Gaynark leads the team from another roundabout way, while Dr. Light proves he is a simpleton since he gets exhausted while carrying Cole. She further changes into crystal form to increase the weight Dr. Light is carrying. The Teen Titans also get stuck in tar, and it's hilarious to watch even a Neanderthal man make a facepalm. Gaynark helps the Titans get out of the tar by throwing them a rope to hold on. The group reaches the mouth of the cave and notices a light glow from Dr. Light's machine. Cyborg encourages Gaynark to come out and assures them they will protect him as they charge after Dr. Light. As the concentrated northern lights fall on Cole, she crystallizes and helplessly powers up Dr. Light. Titan's every move gets thwarted until Gaynark approaches the machine from another side. Cyborg throws Gaynark a wrench to get Cole free, but Dr. Light notices him and blasts him away. Gaynark gets mad and directly hits the machine, severing his connection tubes with Cole. Gaynark helps Cole get free and also helps the Titans catch him. Since Cole refuses to return to the outer world, Robin gives her a Titans communicator. Cole jokes that no one will look for them, but she is proved wrong as the Brotherhood Evil listens through Rouge's communicator and locates Cole. Hide and seek, Raven is tasked to escort 3 baby superheroes to keep them safe from the Brotherhood of Evil. As Raven waits at a desolate train station, she calls Robin on the communicator, but Beast Boy answers. Raven takes the 3 children, Melvin, Timmy, and Teether, on the train ride to reach their destination. It becomes challenging as Melvin has an imaginary large friend called Bobby, while Teether is a toddler who eats objects. Timmy is a little boy with a blankie and throws tantrums. As Raven asks them not to bother her, the kids go on their own way and create a ruckus across the train. The other passengers get annoyed, and Raven sucks at handling the infants. Being the oldest, Melvin helps Raven by telling her what Timmy or Teether wants, but she often gets into an argument when Raven calls Bobby imaginary. The group is soon attacked by Monsieur Mallah, but someone invisible saves the kids, and Raven by separating their wagon from the rest of the train. A stranded Raven tries to levitate the children as they travel towards the safe house, but flying makes Teether sick. Raven is forced to walk with the children, and at night, they arrive near a skiing lodge. Raven babysitting was surely not on our wish list, but the writers did a fabulous job with the 3 original characters of the babies. As the children refuse to eat and bawl their eyes out, Raven gets driven out of her wits, and she again calls Robin. Beast Boy answers the call and instructs Raven to either make faces or tell them jokes to make the children laugh. Raven tries out the suggestion, but when it doesn't work, Melvin tells Raven that Teether has gas, while Timmy is crying as his blankie has ripped. Raven caters to the children's needs and starts bonding with them, as she also tells them a very amusing version of Season 4's finale story to make them fall asleep. The next day, Raven and the children reach the monastery, where they are greeted by some monks. These monks are animated versions of Teen Titans creators Nick Cardy, Marv Wolfman, and George Perez. Raven tries to leave, but grows concerned when the monastery falls silent. She barges in to find the monks have fainted while Mallah has captured the little heroes. Raven goes after them and tries to stop Mallah, who attacks back at her with his aircraft. The children get mad at Mallah, and Timmy attacks with his sonic voice, while Teether throws a spit of fire from his mouth. Bobby rescues Melvin and the others, as Raven finally notices that Bobby is a giant-sized teddy bear. Bobby fights Mallah and sends him away. Melvin explains that although she conjured Bobby, he is still shy of human interaction and stays hidden from Raven until he can trust her. As Beast Boy calls Raven to return, she refuses to leave as she feels responsible for the children. Melvin assures her that they will be okay with the monks, and Raven gives her a communicator. Lightspeed, the Hive 5 hijacks the opening intro as the story is told from their perspective, while a famous little original Titan is finally introduced. The Hive 5 goes to rob a museum when a speedster apprehends them. It now includes Jinx, Mammoth, Gizmo, Seymour, Billy Numerous, and Kid Flash. This makes 6, and something that our lone hero, Kid Flash, later points out. Kid Flash leaves the Hive 5 rattled and Jinx with a single red rose. But she doesn't take the situation lightly as Jinx wants the Brotherhood of Evil to take the Hive 5 seriously. Just like the Titan's Tower, the Hive 5 base gets an alert about probable areas they can rob from. Kid Flash foils every plan and steals the chocolate bar Mammoth bought. Jinx suggests catching Kid Flash and handing it over to the Brotherhood to get their attention, but her friends ignore it. Jinx returns to the museum, where Kid Flash confronts her and tries to convince her to do good. This doesn't work, and instead, Jinx with the HIVE5 traps Kid Flash. The love-hate banter between Jinx and Kid Flash makes the episode more interesting. They foolishly keep Kid Flash in jail as he teases the Hive 5 and even gets food. Jinx ignores Kid Flash's warning and informs Madame Rouge about catching the notorious hero. Madame Rouge agrees to pick up Kid Flash. However, when Jinx turns, Kid Flash is gone. The Hive 5 frantically tries to catch Kid Flash as he makes a fool of each member and escapes the building. Madame Rouge gets angry at Jinx and her friends and leaves to find him alone. Jinx still remains resilient to catch Kid Flash and present him to Rouge. Kid Flash is Wally West, and since Michael Rosenbaum was already voicing Flash in the Justice League, he was asked to use a high-pitched voice for Kid Flash. Madame Rouge appears as Jinx to catch Kid Flash. The chase tires out Kid Flash, and he enters a warehouse. Meanwhile, Seymour notices where Kid Flash is going and notifies it to the real Jinx. Jinx again betrays Kid Flash and captures him in another force field. However, she gets pissed when Rouge refuses to give her any credit. Jinx lets Kid Flash go so that Rouge can catch him herself. Rouge leaves with a newfound respect for Jinx, who might now seriously turn good as she gets a last rose left by Kid Flash.
You're getting warmer, much warmer. Wow, man!
Revved up, Ding Dong Daddy has stolen Robin's personal briefcase and challenges him on a road race for it. Robin rides the R-Cycle, while Cyborg and Beast Boy take the T-Car as they drive through a desert. Raven and Starfire try to fly ahead and reach the finish sign, but Ding Dong Daddy zaps them so that they can only go by road. Raven and Starfire hitchhike on a van carrying poultry. Ding Dong Daddy uses several dirty tricks, such as having his gremlin minions ride a pit stop on wheels, which not only tends to Ding Dong Daddy's car, but also dismantles the T-Car whenever they catch up. To add to the chaos, Red X joins, coveting Robin's most prized possession. The episode is inspired by Hanna-Barbera's Wacky Races cartoon. Did you know Hanna-Barbera was also developing a new Teen Titans series in the 80s? The series did not take off, but would have also featured Wonder Girl and Kid Flash, except Robin, due to licensing issues. Meanwhile, Raven and Starfire get dropped off, and Starfire notices Gizmo. She divulges the entire story and seeks Gizmo's help, who relays the information over the radio for other villains to join. The girls then spot a rocket booster bus carrying a bunch of aspiring villains. They kidnap 2 of the villains and take up the disguise to board the bus, and we do see some familiar faces from previous episodes. One of the villains sure resembles Galactus. However, when Raven sneezes, her fake horns come off and the girls get into a fight inside the bus. On the other hand, the Gremlin crew robs the T-Car of almost every part, forcing Cyborg to fight them as he finally allows Beast Boy to take the wheels. At the same time, the competition between Red X and Robin revs up as both try to overthrow each other. Coming back to Cyborg, he manages a win against the Gremlins at the cost of his car, and Beast Boy shapeshifts into a horse to finish the race. As Red X and Robin catch up, Ding Dong Daddy turns the road into ice and throws bombs at them, which hits Red X. Robin saves Red X and gives him a ride, and, in gratitude, Red X stops the other villains from following. This includes Fang and Kitten, the Puppet King, Johnny Rancid, Control Freak, Adonis, Gizmo, Mad Mod, Dr. Light, and Mumbo. Red X then falls on the rocket booster bus and notices Raven and Starfire taking control. He asks them to tell Robin that they are now even and leaves. During the race's last leg, Ding Dong Daddy uses his car to chew R-Cycle, but Robin overthrows him and wins the race. The girls arrive in second place, with Cyborg and Beast Boy in third. Robin becomes grateful to them and finally shows them the content, but not to us. Go. This is the last standalone episode before the final story arc. It begins when the Titans are not a team at all. A very angry Starfire is imprisoned in an alien ship under the command of Lord Trogar. She breaks the door of her prison and flies off to Earth. In the dark alleys, a lone Robin captures a petty thief when he notices a ball of green fire fall in the city. He goes to investigate and finds Starfire attacking people and the city while her hands are still under cuffs. Robin gets joined by Beast Boy, who is still wearing his Doom Patrol mask, while Cyborg appears wearing casual clothes as they get into a fight with Starfire. Raven also stands in the shadows and watches. The Titans get acquainted for the first time as Beast Boy fanboys over Robin and call him Sir, while Cyborg is still grumpy. When Starfire gets exhausted, Raven stops the boys from hurting her and suggests that talking might work. Robin carefully approaches Starfire and releases her from the handcuffs. To his surprise and shock, Starfire kisses Robin, which helps her absorb his language, and she warns him to leave her alone. Starfire leaves an astounded Robin, who decides to still go after her. However, Robin refuses Beast Boy's proposal to team up. Raven also feels uneasy and rejects Beast Boy's approach, while Cyborg tries to scare him off by revealing his face, but Beast Boy stays. Just then, an alien ship lands on Earth and projects a holographic message of the alien leader, who asks the people not to interfere as they try to catch a fugitive. The Titans watch the message together, and Robin agrees to team up for the mission. The team tracks down Starfire by using their individual abilities. Starfire gets suspicious of the superheroes as nice behavior is uncommon on her planet. Robin and Cyborg demand Starfire answer why the Lizard King is after her. Starfire explains that the alien race is called Gordanians, and they are to deliver Starfire as a slave to their citadel. It's confirmed that Robin has developed a crush as he vouches not to let the Gordanians take Starfire, and Beast Boy reminds him that all of them will protect Starfire. They are soon spotted by Gordanian soldiers, and the Teen Titans fight together for the first time. However, the Gordanians soon prepare to attack the city. The members start to blame each other, and Raven has to become the peacemaker. There also comes a time when Beast Boy almost calls Raven creepy, and she stays away. But Cyborg makes her realize they are all odd. The group breaks into the alien ship's bridge and battles with the Gordanians. While the remaining Gordanian soldiers are taken down easily, all 5 heroes must defeat Trogar. Raven protects Beast Boy, calling him a friend. Based on Robin's suggestion, Cyborg changes the wirings of his hand to create and use it as a sonic cannon. With the aliens defeated, the team stands on the island and wonders if a home can be built here. Starfire finally meets the team without armor, while Robin and Cyborg give everyone their communicators as they decide to stay in contact. Calling all Titans, Beast Boy is ready to return home and eat a tofu burger, but Robin has one last mission for everybody. He asks the team to separate and deliver the last few communicators, unaware that Brain has strapped on a communicator and is tracking them. Beast Boy makes a long hike to find Jericho. Starfire meets Argent as she repairs a dam. Robin finds Bushido fighting ninjas. Raven meets Herald in another dimension, and Cyborg gets beaten down by Panther as he goes to deliver her the communicator. However, as the main team of Titans attempts to travel together, Robin receives an alert from Argent, who is the first one to be attacked by the Brotherhood of Evil. The other attackers surround Mazzy Menos, Gynark and Cole, Aqualad, Bumblebee, Speedy, Herald, Kilowatt, Bushido, and Lightning and Thunder. The 5th season also saw a few directors leaving, with only Michael Change remaining, but it tells a story worth of terror. Robin gets into careful delegation and makes an unwise decision to send his teammates to provide aid. Another dispatch of supervillains also prohibits the main Titans from reaching out to others. A host of new villains also make a cameo as they attack our heroes, like Cheshire, who fights Speedy, Tram fights XL Terrestrial, and Thunder fights Steamroller and Instigator. The silence on the communicators makes Robin panic as he gets stranded on a large block of ice. Hotspot comes to meet him, only to reveal it's still Madame Rouge, and Robin finally understands how they are being tracked. Robin fights Rouge, but it proves impossible to beat her even when he breaks her into pieces. Robin also tweaks the communicator, which sends out a self-destruct signal. Several Titans defeat the villains and find their communicators self-destruct, which also hurts Brain, forcing him to get rid of the device. Robin gets caught and brought to be added with the other heroes, who are frozen and confined in a chamber. Titans together. The episode starts with Brain's monologue telling Robin how he has failed and helped the Brotherhood of Evil catch all the young superheroes. The monologue coincides with the Titans and honorary Titans getting beaten up. However, it might not be too late, as Beast Boy is undefeated and finds a way back to a secret headquarters in the middle of a forest. Mass, Panther, Herald and Jericho join Beast Boy, but get disappointed seeing it's only 5 of them. They decide to leave, but Beast Boy shouts at them for losing hope. Beast Boy takes on the cloak of a leader as he plans to capture Cinderblock. Jericho possesses Cinderblock and learns that the Brotherhood's secret head office is in Paris. Jericho makes Cinderblock carry the heroes to the headquarters, but they are discovered. Jericho is Slade Wilson's son and is also supposed to have a sister called Rose, which is not revealed in the series. Brain and his allies, Rouge, Monsieur Mallah, and General Immortus, show the frozen heroes as a display to the heroes who have broken into the lair. Beast Boy and Mars get emotional and enraged at the sight of frozen Robin and Menos. As the heroes attack, the rest of the small-time villains retaliate while Brain and his cronies stand on watch. As Brain expected, the power and energy of the Titans start to deplete, but he has surely underestimated the teen heroes. Cyborg, Starfire and Raven emerge with their team of superheroes in a moment of surprise. Raven's team is the most dangerous and hilarious since she has brought Melvin, Bobby, Teether and Timmy for the ambush. Mars releases Menos, and, together, they work on the freezing machine to thaw the other frozen heroes. As the number of heroes increases, the villains face a real threat. Kid Flash and his girlfriend Jinx join in as they take down the Hive 5. Seeing that they are losing the war, Mallah and Rouge also join the fight, but Rouge gets taken and frozen for good, while Mallah takes Brain and tries to escape. Brain's socket turns out to be the fusion device, and as it gets activated, Cyborg cannot shut it down. Starfire brings Herald for help, and he opens a portal to send the fusion device to deep space. Making Beast Boy lead the final war against the villains is one of the best decisions. The episode depicts character growth that's rarely shown in animations. Beast Boy goes after Mallah, while Robin tries to snatch the glass box containing Brain. The Titans win, and Beast Boy freezes the Brain with a last joke that shows he is still the same. After they return to Titan's Tower, it looks congested due to all the warriors. They immediately get an alert, only to find Dr. Light robbing a bank. However, he might be in for a shock as all 30 Titans are ready to take him down. Things change. It's been some time since the Teen Titans defeated Brotherhood of Evil. They have finally returned to Jump City and find things have changed. A whole block and shops are gone, replaced by new constructions. They face a new adversary in the form of a fluid creature that can camouflage. While the Teen Titans fight the White Monster, Beast Boy notices Terra in the crowd. The White Monster throws wet cement on Beast Boy, and when Starfire hits a hydrant, the White Monster escapes through the sewers. Beast Boy looks for Terra, but she has already left. Beast Boy ventures underground to Slade's old lair and finds Terra's statue missing. He rushes back to the Titan's Tower to track her down and tells his friends the news. The other Titans have trouble believing it and are more concerned with taking the White Monster down. Beast Boy gets angry and takes up the job of reaching out to Terra. Beast Boy visits the usual places where he once hung out with Terra but doesn't find her. The next day, Beast Boy notices Terra at her school. Beast Boy convinces Terra to join him for a pizza, but she claims not to remember him and gets annoyed. The episode seems unusually slow and melodramatic. As a last episode, the creative could have made something more engaging. Beast Boy takes Terra to the Titan's Tower to jog her memory and even throws mud at her so that she can deflect it. However, Terra or not, the girl doesn't seem to have any powers as she gets mad and leaves. Meanwhile, the rest of the Titans return to a museum in search of the creature, but once again lose their sight as it blends in with statues. Beast Boy also returns to the House of Mirrors, where Slade attacks him. Although Slade claims to have nothing to do with Terra's resurrection, he still tortures Beast Boy by telling him Terra doesn't want him. As Beast Boy defeats Slade, it turns out to be a robot. We believe that Terra might have used the robot to make Beast Boy leave her alone. It doesn't work, as Beast Boy returns to Terra's school the next day to apologize. The Teen Titans battle the creature, but it is a strong opponent, and Robin calls Beast Boy for help. Terra makes Beast Boy realize that she she is not the girl from his memories as things change. The conversation hints that the girl is Terra, and she wants to make a fresh start to a normal life. The cast and crew of the series have confirmed that it is indeed Terra. Beast Boy gets the message and leaves to join the Titans, with the episode ending abruptly. This is to say that the adventures of the Teen Titans will continue. Marvelous verdict. Teen Titans is a feel-good animated series that has remained a major trailblazer, being kid-friendly and reimagining some classic storylines. The series has instances of comedy that are usually seen in anime. The jaw-dropping reactions, red anger marks, and wacky villains make it thoroughly enjoyable, not to mention the upbeat music and title track that spice up the story. Do you have any complaints about the series, or are you still not over Raven and Robin? We, for sure, are not. If you have liked our content so far, please subscribe to our channel for more of this cartoon awesomeness.